1.
Are you ready?
Nerd Sauce Entertainment presents
The Nerd Pod.
Thank you for tuning into the Nerd Pod. This is our first episode of 2024. So we're going to do a recap of what we think personally was best of 2023 for shows, movies, animes, you name it. We're going to go into where our favorites or what we think was really good in 2023. George, I'll hand it to you and let me know what is your list. What did you like for 2023?
So I'm gonna go ahead and just start with animation because 23 gave us a lot. I mean, we're still actively living in the golden age of television, right?
Yeah.
Like it's hard to deny, and it's difficult to say like when it's actually gonna end, if it does. But I'm gonna go ahead and start with animation. I'm a huge animation freak. This includes animes and just regular animated shows because I do have some in my list. But for me,
let me take a guess. Trolls.
Hell yeah.
Elemental.
Elemental was
Didn't
okay.
even watch it. Was that Pixar?
Yeah.
Was it Pixar?
Yeah.
Yeah, Elemental was okay. I enjoyed. I think
For a kids movie. it
Funny
was
enough,
good.
I feel like Pixar's been dropping the ball recently.
Yeah,
but Elemental was okay. Like I'm okay. I like it. I like it. But I'm gonna start with some anime, and just say I'm gonna look. This is probably like pretty normal what I'm about to say right now across the board, but I'm just giving it to Attack on Titan season, like final
I mean, yeah,
season.
it's a long time coming for like an amazing ending.
It was so sad because I saw the recording of that last one from the main characters. I keep forgetting his name, but he plays many characters in anime. And
The voice actor for Eren.
forever, yeah, he plays what's his name from Demon Slayer, the one with the boar masks.
Oh, Inosuke.
Inosuke, he plays him too, and he was like literally in tears
Yeah, for sure,
recording
man.
that, and at the end of the recording, he was hugging whoever the other character was. I forgot who it was.
Probably Mikasa.
And no, it was a gentleman.
Ottoman.
The guy who voiced Ottoman? No, okay.
And they were hugging, but he had a legit feeling that, like, that's what I love the passion in anime, man.
Yeah.
And then Attack on Titan, it ended so well, man.
I think so too. I remember he read the manga and he was consistently telling me to read the manga. And then when I fully caught up to the show, I'm like, I can't take it. I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah.
I personally like the way Attack on Titan ends. I mean, I don't know how you expect this anime to end in any other way. It's a weird world, I get it, but like I think it ended fucking perfectly.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
it
and
ended
then
real well.
I like personally, obviously, I like the manga more. But then I think the show ended nice. Like I like the way it ended.
I read the manga and it was like 3-4 years ago at this point when it ended, and it was a huge people were conflicted. It was a lot
I know.
a lot of mixed responses.
Yeah. How do you feel about it?
I didn't finish the anime, but I know the ending.
But yeah,
but
finished
there's
it.
a huge difference between like watching music, animation. It might
Well,
make,
that's true, and we're
it might
talking
make compared to like the idea of like turning the page or looking at the next panel. It's the way it's presented to you. It gives you a different emotional response.
for
So
sure.
I don't know. Like for example, in the anime, did Armin tell Eren, thank you for committing a massacre or something?
Yeah, he said thank you for what
like
you had
that
to
part
do.
in the manga. Remember, you have no music on. You're just reading panel to panel, and then like Eren just starts crying. I don't want Mikasa to ever be with anyone else. And then Armin's like, thank you, Eren, for committing a genocide.
Yeah.
Remember, this is after Eren just murdered tens of
I
millions,
think it was
hundreds
like
of millions of people.
80-something% of the world, right?
Yeah.
Something
So it's
like that.
and reading that, you're just like, wait,
Well,
what?
they did it at in the anime. It was the same thing. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, Eren is a villain.
Yeah.
Because Eren, all he cared about doing was creating a safe world for his friends.
Yeah.
Because the ending
And
shows
that
you.
meant wiping out everybody.
Because the end shows you
Yep.
they went on to live a peaceful life.
Yeah.
And then you get the remnants of like once they passed away, the world kind of went back to
How it was before
Yeah.
Titans.
But
In
he
the-
did what he said he wanted to do, which was give a peaceful world to his friends.
In the anime epilogue, do they show like Mikasa visiting his grave
Yeah,
when
yeah,
she's
yeah.
an older woman?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
The
and-
credits. Yes, credits.
And
That's what the
then-
end credits.
And
Yes.
then it goes even further than that when like Eden's gravestone is like almost completely covered by a tree.
Yep.
They show that.
Yep.
And another new character going into the tree.
Yeah.
Similar to
pretty
Ym-
much starting all over
to
again.
Ymir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that because that epilogue, that change of like 1,000 years or 100 years later, that wasn't in the original manga release. In the original manga release, we got that like 5 months after. In the original manga release, that's why everyone was like going crazy when this was released 4 years ago.
Yeah.
In the original release, it just shows Mikasa as an older woman with her grandchildren. Or children going around, like, and then it ends, and then people are
That's
like,
cool. Yeah. Yeah.
"What?"
So originally it ended like a Sopranos episode.
Yeah, it's just like you're just
it just
kind
cut
of
to
feeling
black.
empty.
But it's just crazy with Attack on Titan how the turn it took, right? Because in the first couple of seasons, Aaron's like the hero. He's the protagonist,
Yeah.
right? And then next thing you know, he's just killing everybody. And then I will never forget that episode when he gets his neck shot off, and then the whole branch comes out of his head, and he turns into this weird looking Titan. I don't know the name.
The like the long spinal.
He's pretty much like I feel
Yeah.
like
Founding Titan.
The founding Titan, the amalgamation of every other Titan
He has
that he
the-
so
absorbed.
crazy.
he has the
creepy.
towards the end. He has the founding Titan, the Titan,
Warhammer.
the Warhammer Titan, but mainly is the weird looking one with the spinal cord.
But he was pretty much trapped in that because he
and
didn't
that's
have.
mostly Warhammer.
Yeah, but he was trapped like that because he didn't have a body no more. His head got shut off.
Yeah, I mean, look, he was cooking. That's the best way I could put it. It was beautiful. I think it was beautifully animated. Seeing what Eren turns into, and not only that, it's Eren just kind of floating above all the colossal titans, and that's such a scary,
The rumbling.
scary feeling. Like,
Yeah,
think about the rumbling.
Yeah.
My God, for me, one of the most powerful scenes is when they're going through like this. We're traveling throughout Marley, and then Eren ends up saving this little boy from
I know
these
exactly what
guys.
you're talking about. When I read this in the manga,
And then,
oh my god!
And then there's this scene where they're partying at this little boy's village, and then they're celebrating because Eren helped save him and whatever, and they're getting drunk. Everyone's getting drunk.
Oh yeah, that's oh my
And then,
goodness.
And then Eren looks at the little boy and he just kind of like breaks
Yes.
out into tears. And then he goes, "I'm so sorry." He starts apologizing
Yeah.
because he already knows what's going to happen. That's a powerful scene to me, especially, and it's powerful at the moment, but then it becomes even more so when the gravity of what Eren does actually hits you, and you're just like, Jesus, like, this guy did all this for his friends. Like, it's great. I want everyone to have peace.
But,
This is the only
remember
way.
that same little boy. Well, I didn't get to the part in the anime. I'm pretty sure they would not animate. They would animate this part in the manga. Later on, when he's actually doing the rumbling in Marley, they show the boy getting trampled.
Oh yeah, they're doing the show.
That's what
they're doing the show.
Okay,
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
reading that in the manga.
That's one of my favorites of Attack on Titan is the gore and all that, and especially like I thought you were gonna mention when Captain Levi fights his brother.
The Beast Titan.
Beast
right?
Titan.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
When-
the ape titan.
Yeah,
I was like,
I was thinking the same
I was
thing.
like, but that's not right.
Yeah.
That's not right. That's not
the
right.
Because
Beast
remember,
Titan.
every new inheritor of the Beast Titan turns into the animal to them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Not everyone's an ape. Everyone's
Correct.
different. Yeah.
He's a weird looking ape too.
Yeah,
he got
yeah,
a little
yeah.
skinny head and
For
big
me,
old
long-ass
weird.
arms.
Yeah,
a
weird
orangutan.
looking body.
Kind of
For me, it
orangutan.
looks like kind of like another thinking of what like a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch would look
Exactly,
like.
a Sasquatch,
It's
for
not
sure.
even like an ape, like for me, where you're like, oh, it looks like a gorilla. I'm like, it looks like a.
And when they first
Bigfoot.
introduced him with them and throwing those rocks,
It's wild. But then I
scary.
like how they do that back thing.
Yeah.
Where they the memory with him playing with that doctor, I think
Yeah.
it was. So it's like, now I see why he does the throw. What were you gonna say though?
My
Yeah.
go-to episode was that episode of where everybody's celebrating, drinking the wine, not knowing that Z's put his blood in all that wine.
yeah,
and he
yeah,
does
yeah,
his
yeah.
scream when he goes, and then all of Captain Levi's
His whole team,
is all Titans, and he's just slaughtering everything. And then he does that crazy attack to the Beast Titan and just like cuts off all his hands and just
Yeah.
tears him up,
Yeah.
and then shoves the sword in his mouth because Zeke is ready. His arms are already deteriorate,
Yeah.
everything, so he can't recover.
For me, man,
Oh, so
just
good.
seeing just kind of like the ending
Yeah,
for Levi.
yeah.
Like, it was so sad to me.
Yo, he
Like-
didn't even recover.
No, bro. Because you know how I took it? I like Levi's character arc in that sense because I feel that I think this is a problem across our species is
Yeah.
that we like to romanticize war,
Yeah,
right? Like, yeah, we like to romanticize it. So, but people forget.
Erwin was more of his commander was more of the romanticized hero.
Yeah. But like-
Levi's kind of just like
the reality.
Yeah.
No.
I'm tired, boss. I'm tired of this
Levi's
shit.
the Levi's the reality of
Yeah.
someone who's a lifelong soldier, and the ending to it, where it's like,
well, he never loses like his path on being a soldier. You
No,
know?
no.
He doesn't
Not at
make
all.
accommodations for
like
anybody.
knowing the sacrifice he has to make
Yep.
for the people
I
he
gotta
loves,
kill the person I
for the
love
people
if I
he
have
loves.
to.
Yeah. For
You know?
for the sake of righteousness,
Yeah.
right? Like so he's a perfect
Justice.
soldier for justice. Yeah, but then it's sad because of what he becomes at the end. You know, like he's just this guy in a wheelchair with the lifelong reminder of the reality
of war.
And yeah, like it's sad for me. Like, yeah, he finished happy, I guess, but it's sad, especially like the ending scene where the ending of him is him crying.
Yeah.
You know,
Because he's not gonna be able to perform like
it's a masterpiece. Look,
Yeah.
I understand. Is it controversial in its ending? Sure, I get it, but it's undeniable that this story is one of a kind. There's
Yeah.
nothing like it, and for me, it's a masterpiece. So that's
sure.
why, like, I had to put it.
No, I think I would say the same.
Yeah.
To start off the episode with this anime is mind blowing.
I think when it comes to anime, like this, even though like the way I felt when I first read the ending, I was like mixed like 4 years ago whenever I read the manga. But like if you really think about it, we have like think of the major endings we've had for anime. Like we have Naruto. Boruto doesn't count.
It
but
doesn't.
like Naruto, like did Naruto end? Okay, he becomes Hokage. That's kind of predictable.
Yeah.
Bleach. I heard a lot of bad things about the Bleach manga. One Piece. What other big anime endings? I think at least Attack on Titan when it comes to like the mainstream shonen.
Yeah, it was a legit ending.
it was a
where
legit-
it's
like
not like too much going on.
Yeah.
It's just like you knew what happened and that's it. And then
Yeah,
But like
Live happily ever after.
Starting from the beginning, you would not have thought it would have
Heck
ended.
no.
not at all.
Eren,
Heck
in the beginning,
no,
Eren was
man.
like the typical, shonen character. Like I'm gonna get revenge. I'm gonna kill everyone.
No,
you know?
not even that. It's like imagine jumping into Attack on Titan cold turkey, which is something I did. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't watch no trailer, whatever the heck. Nothing. Episode 1? What more episode like one of anything
Jeez.
shakes you like that?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Demon Slayer. If you went
It's
into Demon
gore.
Slayer like cold turkey, you
Dude.
would not expect to like
It's a
for it to end the way
it's
it
a
does.
slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
but-
probably one of the best opening episodes. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think opening like just like any anime for 2023, Attack on Titan has to take.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a Bleach fan and Bleach Part 2 of the 1,000-Year Blood War, I'll still give it to Attack on Titan.
What that was your favorite piece of animation this year?
Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
For number 1 for 2023, yeah.
How about you, Giovanni?
It gotta be.
I think it was less impactful for me because I already know the
But
manga.
you didn't finish the actual.
yeah. But
animation.
The reason I didn't finish because I already kind of know the ending. I have to go back to watch it. But I think for me, like just generally the best anime of like this season of 2023 was Free Run.
What is it?
Free Run.
Free run. Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I didn't
like
watch this
scrolling,
one.
but
It's
I
you would like it. It's very. It brings back like more classic fantasy.
Really?
Yeah, and it's in
Interesting.
the perspective of an elf who basically has an event. It's basically think of if it was Lord of the Rings, but Lord of the Rings a book.
I'm listening.
I know exactly, but it starts after Frodo throws the ring into the Mountain Doom.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
The Mount Doom. What's it called?
Yeah.
Is it Mount Doom?
Mondor?
Yeah.
No, Mordor.
Mordor.
Oh, sorry, Mount Doom.
I said
yeah.
Mount Doom. I was like, it's
Yeah.
not Mount Doom. But yeah, it starts like and Frodo recovering from that in the Shire.
Oh, that's interesting.
So the main character, Elf, she has an adventuring party. They all age like regular humans, and she's
Yeah.
hundreds of years old. So it's more of like a psychological perspective of an elf in this fantasy realm that
So it's
lives
like- so it's like
thousands and
Berserk.
thousands of years. No, you'll like it's really
That's
good.
the thing about animes, though. There's so many animes, and it's like for me, it's hard to get into because you want to go through every single one to see which one hits.
Bro, I'm telling you, look,
but
like
it's
I have
so
a huge
many,
list
man.
here where like another one that I want to like mention is Jujutsu Kaisen season 2.
I can't get into it.
Oh,
man.
you
Have you watched
I've
season one?
tried- I watched.
You need to watch
I've-
the Shibuya incident.
and I watched the movie, and I don't know. My buddy's been trying to get me to like get into it. I'm like, I just can't. My daughter keeps telling me, but I'm trying.
You watched the
hard.
whole all of season
I
one.
didn't watch season 2 yet. Just season 1, and
Okay.
I'm on the movie.
I feel like if you watch season 2 and I feel it'll convince
That's what my
you.
buddies were saying.
Yeah.
Skip season 1
'Cause I could-
it's all over the place. You
I
don't
could
know- you don't know-
understand.
You don't know what's going on.
I could understand you saying like after season 1, I couldn't get into it. Yeah, that's okay. That's understandable. I think they went. I think season 2 is better than season 1, and people could disagree with me on that.
No, I think
100,
it is,
but
Y'all need to get
Mappa?
to know Bleach, man.
I do understand that. I do understand that feeling you have with Jujutsu Kaisen because compare Jujutsu Kaisen to like Demon Slayer, right? every single episode of Demon Slayer, they're both highly. I mean, their animations are.
Yeah,
both,
but Demon Slayer has like a good story to it.
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
per
The
episode,
the story is more coherent in a way.
Correct.
Yeah.
The way Jujutsu Kaisen is set up is like you have the first season Jujutsu Kaisen, and then you have Jujutsu Kaisen Zero,
Yeah.
which brings
Which
in
is
the
the
other
movie.
character that comes after, and then Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, which then brings up the character from Jujutsu Kaisen Zero.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's like the storytelling kind of weird.
I was just all over the place.
The
man.
power system is kind of complicated.
Oh Jesus!
But not
I'm still-
complicated.
I'm still trying to understand domain expansion.
Yeah.
like I think season 2 is doing a better job.
Yeah.
at explaining powers.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I get
Maybe it's because I got into it a
for
little
me the
more.
best power system of any anime, especially shonen, is Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
It has
I
the most
agree.
complex.
Couldn't get into that either.
But Jujutsu Kaisen, it over explains. Like they have
Yeah.
whole like 2-minute scenes where like, I'm gonna do the domain expansion, but now I'm gonna do a simple domain which counters the domain expansion. But then I'm gonna do a shadow art number 10, which counters the simple domain, which counters the expansion. Yeah.
You've activated my trap
It
card.
gets,
I know.
and they spend a lot of time they spend like 1 minute monologues explaining, like
That's-
describing
yeah.
their power. So I
Yeah.
think that's why it might lose some people.
Yeah,
but
that's-
it brings back it brings your attention because the animation is a whole other
No,
level.
the animation's good. But
Mappa-
I just can't.
Mappa
What-
was on it. Watch season
Once
2.
you watch season 2, you understand
Yeah.
what I mean by animation. It makes season 1 look like an actual anime. Season 2 throughout, it looks movie quality
I
level.
think y'all need to get onto that Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War. That is probably.
I think you need to watch Vinland Saga
Man,
because that's the other one I need to mention.
Because if you watch the original Bleach, the
Yeah.
animation, because it's an old, like if you look at the old Naruto and old One Piece, it's the graphics, the animation is not
Yeah.
as good as they're being remade now. Now, if you watch 1,000-Year Blood War, it's like Demon Slayer style in the sense of that modern day animation and the gore, the blood. You see a lot of stuff. I'm telling you, y'all, if y'all think Hunter x Hunter, this Berserker, all this whatever,
You didn't even say it right. Berserk.
Berserker, you know, what was that Vinland Saga? Like all these unknown animes. You know what I'm saying?
Vinland
This
Saga.
guy- you know, you got to get on. I'm telling you, you got to get on
Bro,
to the stuff that
I
I
understand.
tell you to.
Actually-
No, I understand. Like, okay, I could understand that it's good, but bro, like from a plot perspective, there's no way that Bleach is anywhere near
When you-
touching
if-
Berserk.
Read the summary of 1,000-Year Blood War and how crazy.
I would never do a read a summary.
No, I don't do that.
The reason why is going to tell you what the 1,000-Year Blood War is. Like, if you don't know Bleach, then you're like, what the heck does 1,000-Year
Well,
Blood War?
first off, I will start from episode 1 of Bleach
Yeah.
and build my way up. I wouldn't right now go into the 1,000-Year War
Why not?
because, bro, that's like watching.
You want me to go into season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen when I
No, no,
watch
no, no,
anything
no.
You
else?
watch season 1 already.
Yeah, watch season
Yeah,
1.
but I don't. I have to rewatch
Yeah,
it to understand it.
Rewatch it. You,
No, I-
stop rewatching Game of Thrones so much, and you might have some
baby.
time to watch
BVS
some
all
other
day.
stuff.
BVS best of 2023, baby.
I knew I was gonna say this.
Rewatch
on the
BVS
way
like times.
here. I knew I was gonna have to say, Matt, stop rewatching Game of Thrones
all
and
day.
BVS and
All
watch some
day.
new stuff.
Game of Thrones and
You're
BVS.
too much of a rewatcher. But I
love
mean,
it.
I think the only anime we've all seen is I'm sorry, not even me, but Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it first because
I'm guessing neither of you watched Pluto.
I was about. No, I haven't watched
No.
it, but
Netflix.
I've heard great things about
Pluto?
it.
Pluto on Netflix.
I just watched
For me,
the,
that's
the
the
streaming
anime.
service, Pluto.
Pluto. I didn't even know that was a streaming service. But Pluto for me was the best anime of the year,
Really?
right off the bat.
What
Okay.
you smoking, bro?
It's do you even know what it is?
He hasn't even watched it, and he's arguing against it.
trying to start some
you know-
problems on the pod, bro.
Do you know Astro Boy?
Yeah.
Okay, Astro Boy.
Oh, I seen it on Netflix. Like
Okay.
I seen it like scrolling.
Do you know an anime called Monster?
Yes.
Called Monster.
Bro,
Is it old?
Yeah.
Yes, in the 90s.
It's one of our. It's in our top 5 when
But
we
this
did our
particular
anime
author
episode.
is one of the greatest manga.
I'll just look it up now.
He's one of the greatest mangaka I would say of all time. He has Monster, he has Pluto, he has Billy Bat, he has there's another one.
I'm not familiar
okay,
with that.
but Pluto. Think of Pluto. Pluto was basically him in the manga and in the anime.
Okay.
He rewrote an arc in Astro Boy. Remember Astro Boy is like classic 60s,
I like
50s.
Astro Boys.
Like
I like
Astro Boy's
Boy.
cool. Yeah.
he rewrote an arc from the Astro Boy series, but made it into a murder mystery. And it's a lot more. It's a lot more of a serious tone.
Monster looks like it's a 2004.
2004. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pluto was a
That sounds interesting. I didn't realize
very
that.
serious murder mystery, but set in the Astro Boy
Yeah.
world, cyberpunk world. It's very interesting.
So You like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So you remember Castlevania, right?
Of course.
Alucard.
Bro, Castlevania is one of my ones from 2023.
Yes, I was just going to tell you. Yeah,
Nocturna.
I didn't finish it.
But there's a new one that has Belmet. What's his name?
Yeah, Nocturne.
That's
Nocturne.
not. Is it Nocturna? Or Nocturne?
I think it's Nocturne. I think
No,
it's
there's
Nocturne.
two. One just came out because the one before was I forgot the guy with the whip. It's not the one from Symphonies of the Night.
That's the one I'm talking about.
That's
which is
the
one
newer
for last
one
from
with the blue
23.
outfit. I keep forgetting his name.
Belmont.
But they're all Belmonts.
I know.
Yeah. There's like, the first
one had Alucard in there, which is Dracula's son. That was the animation in this was freaking crazy. So I think for 2023, the new Castlevania, I'm glad it got renewed because there's like
it's a great show.
Yeah,
it's a great show.
And there's I like something that's if you're gonna do anime, you have to have some type of gore in it, man. Because if you don't have any blood, I think it doesn't serve any purpose.
Yeah, I mean, if they have to show violent, it depends. If it's like if you want to do like over the top,
But
like
gore,
over
why
the
does gore
top,
have to be
similar
violence, man.
But no, similar to like if you want to do like extreme like parody violence, similar to like a Quentin Tarantino Kill Bill,
Yeah.
you can do that in anime.
Yeah.
But if you want to do more of a serious like violence that it's not like romanticized, Attack
Yeah.
on Titan,
Yeah.
Pluto is like that.
Bro,
It doesn't make it doesn't.
Heavenly Delusion. Does
Yeah,
it
I have to finish it. But
Is that
I watched.
Netflix or no?
Hulu.
Okay.
Hulu. It's on Hulu.
That's why I
and-
love Hulu too, man. Because all the animes that
Bro,
come
let
on
me
there.
tell you, Heavenly Delusion is the most. That's probably the most complicated plot I think I've dealt with this year. Is Heavenly Delusion, and animation's great. The plot is very interesting. It keeps me coming back every episode because every episode answers maybe half a question and adds 10 more, and you want nothing more than to know what's happening. And it does it where for me, it's like a mix of The Last of Us.
Yeah.
With
I'm
God,
looking
I don't even know, but the point is
I'm
that
looking
it's
at the
that
Wikipedia
similar.
that it doesn't catch my attention if I was to scroll and see that.
Bro, I just found
Yeah.
out about it. I was reading it there and someone
Well,
recommended it on
that's
Reddit.
the thing
Yeah.
with animes, right? You know, sometimes like you don't know, but then I go and when I like look on Crunchyroll, I see like how many seasons are out and when it came out. So if there's like season 1, it came out 10 years ago. You know, there's no season 2 coming out anytime soon.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get involved in the anime if it's not going to be renewed. And I'm gonna
Yeah, no, I hate doing that.
I hate that,
Yeah.
especially if the story continues.
That's what happened
Yeah.
with Magi. I don't know if you ever watched.
Oh my God, Magi! That's a
so good, but it didn't get renewed.
I watched that back in 2012, 13.
Yeah.
Magi's kind of old.
There
yeah.
was 2 seasons, I think,
Yeah.
and then there was a spin-off of Sinbad, one of the big characters.
That was a good one too.
I remember that. That's true. Yeah.
See, I know my stuff, bro.
All right, one more anime I have to mention. Netflix again. Delicious and Dungeon.
Really?
Yeah,
Delicious and Dungeon.
Bro, that was the last thing I thought you were gonna say.
What was the other
Because
on Netflix?
Blue Eye Samurai.
I haven't watched.
Oh,
Blue
that
Eye
was a good
Samurai.
one.
Blue Eye Samurai was so good.
There's so much.
George R. R. Martin likes that too.
Yeah?
he posted about that.
This is insane. There's so much media out there, and look at us right now. Like, oh, you watched that? No, I haven't. You
Yeah.
watch? We're like all over the place.
Since we're on it too, I mean, like in the Netflix animation series, the Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. Yes.
And I
Fresh,
love.
I know you've been
and
big
I love
Scott Pilgrim.
No, and I feel like the most beautiful thing about it is all the original actors came and voice acted their act.
Oh, that's good.
their
And I
characters.
also love that it isn't just a remake of the movie.
No, it's not.
so
It's
different.
its own story.
Yeah, its own story.
It's its own story. It's fantastic.
Never
Yeah.
seen the movie, so
Yeah, you have to. It's
I know
fun.
everybody says it's good with the story. And
Yeah.
and the actors they did pretty well. With,
No, yeah,
with
the movie is so well animated. The same director who did Baby Driver, what's his name?
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, he's so good at like matching, choosing the perfect soundtrack. His editing makes it like a comic. It's like almost the first episode of Miss Marvel. Remember the first
gotcha.
episode of
Yeah,
Miss
yeah, yeah.
Marvel?
Yeah.
It really brings up like, oh, this is a comic book.
Yeah.
That's why. Like, I mean, we'll get into. I mean, I guess you consider this animation slash
yeah.
movie.
I think-
Across the Spider Verse.
yeah.
yeah.
Maybe we'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll get
but
there.
similar to that,
Yes.
Scott Pilgrim, the movie,
Yeah, Scott
it
Pilgrim.
really brings it brings into
style.
life
Yeah.
the comic book.
I would
think you'll like
definitely
it.
say that Scott Pilgrim was definitely one of the first superhero movies. Like going from like comic to the big
If
screen.
you think about it, yeah, because you got like the weapons, right?
Yeah.
With what was the sword?
the Sword of Destiny,
Yeah,
bro.
the sword of destiny, man.
That's so
But
funny.
I think from all our input
Scott's
on
discovered. Oh, no, it was like Scott's discovered the power of self-respect or self-love.
yeah.
I've seen some videos on that.
That's
so
funny.
yeah, I definitely gotta watch that. But I think for all their input on animes, I think those are like
Yeah, for
because we can keep
23.
going on. But for
Oh, man,
top,
yeah,
I think
yeah,
we
top,
for
yeah.
23. I
Because
think
there's-
that was good.
And there's like off the top of my head, like the Apothecary Diaries.
Oh, geez, I didn't even know that.
I have to watch that one. There's so many. That's why I was telling before we started the podcast. Every single season, what they release in every season, right? Spring, winter, fall. Every season there's like 40 plus, 50 plus anime
It's
that's
difficult,
just
yeah.
on Crunchyroll, and it's
crazy
It's
to
so
keep
hard to
up.
keep up with everything.
That's why, like, if I'm gonna say, like, for me was Attack on Titan, Bleach, Thousand Year War, Blood War, and before we move on to the next topics, will be the one we like, Invincible.
Invincible. Oh,
You
my
know?
God.
That's
Even
another,
though
that's another good
they
animation.
pissed me off with this whole part
Half-
one, part
half
two.
the
and
half
for
one
one
season.
season.
Yeah,
They're doing
Who does-
the Attack on Titan recipe.
But not even a full season.
I can't believe I can't believe I didn't remember Invincible. I
But you
love
see,
Invincible.
that's
you
the
know.
thing. There's so much to intake, right? Look, and we're just on animation.
Solo leveling.
See, wait, but did it come out in 23? Or was that already in... No, I think it was 24.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
recent.
we can't talk about it.
Yeah.
That's for another episode, man.
That's right at the end of the year.
That's
And then
another.
you-
That's
next
another
year.
one. Too much to keep up with.
But
All
I think that for animation, I think we're
Yeah.
good with that. We're on the same page. We can go into the TV series.
Let's talk TV
And there's a
series.
lot that came out in TV series for 2023.
Yeah, I agree.
In every genre, though, if you think about it. And then, of course, we did an episode on this, The Last of Us. Oh, that was a good one.
Oh, Jesus.
I think that's like one of the top series.
For me,
What's your number one
Number one, oh man.
for 23?
For 2023, I'm going to go with House of the Dragon.
What?
wait, was
House
that
of Dragon was in
2022?
No, it's 2023. Wasn't it the beginning of 2023?
No.
Man,
You got
Dude,
to
we-
search
We
it.
just did our podcast episode
You gotta
last
search
year on
that.
that.
We got to fact check you
Let
on
me see.
that,
Hold
man.
on, hold on.
live fact check.
Let me see, because we did an episode on it.
No, we did an
have no
episode on it,
idea.
but I think that was 22, man.
Oh man, it was like
Yeah.
close.
yeah.
I was close.
Yeah.
I could have squeezed it.
You were
in there.
off by a year. No biggie.
Man. Bro. George thinks it's like December 2024 right now. When did it drop though?
It was 22 for sure.
No, but like when? Like in 2022.
Oh, no idea. No idea.
Okay, so I'm pushing a little bit.
Yeah.
First episode was in August.
Yeah.
So but
I could
it
understand.
would be
that.
Last of Us if was going to be right behind it.
That was my number one.
The
That's what I was
reason
gonna say.
why is not because of Pedro Pascal. It's the story.
Yeah.
I played the games. I got the remastered version. I didn't get the
Yeah.
remake yet, but I got the remastered version on PlayStation, and I think just the storyline. We put our emotions in that episode about
absolutely.
that. And I hope to do that spin-off, even though we've seen it in the episodes of the two guys. I forget his name, Bill and
They said they weren't. They said
weren't gonna do it,
Yeah,
man?
yeah. But I love that.
That would have been nice.
It won an award. That specific.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a really good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say out of all the TV series, I'm gonna go with Last of Us being my top.
Out of all TV series,
For 2023.
I agree. Just because of what you said. For me, it was just like very rarely do you get anything from the video game world put onto the screen that you like.
and they nailed it.
And is it perfect? Of course not. But it's so well done. It is very well done. I was invested. It looks great in my opinion. They added lore
Yeah.
that wasn't in the game, and that's always one thing that I enjoy.
They do their own thing, yeah.
It's
if
a
you
hit or
choose,
miss with that.
it is because if you choose to do it, make it make sense, not
correct.
some random
Just to
fact that
add for
has
the sake of
nothing-
adding something.
Yeah,
Because when you see somebody bring in like a cartoon to live action, like look at Dragon Ball, the first movie,
Oh God.
that was terrible. So it's like
Dragon Ball Evolution. Right?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So it's like that's the same thing with a game coming into live action.
Yeah.
You don't know what to expect, so you got to get the best writers and use the right equipment to get the right angles and the right CGI.
Yeah.
So Last of Us, that's a lot. Especially with the
for
clickers
you,
and all that.
for you, the season one of it's only one season of Last of Us is on top of even Loki.
Yeah.
You think so?
I
Yeah.
think so.
For me, I think I might.
But you like Loki.
it's a
That's the thing.
and
You're
it's
a Loki fan.
It's a recency bias, and also because it's a completed story.
yeah.
Like if you ask me, like
absolutely.
in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, whenever how many seasons they're going to have of
Oh,
Last of Us.
absolutely. But then we're talking about the entirety of the story.
Yeah, 'cause
here
I'm
we're
thinking of-
specifically just talking about season 1.
I'm thinking
Last
of
of
Loki.
Us.
I'm thinking of Loki because if it ended, then you obviously have to give everything in
with
perspective.
Loki, the ending was the best for me. The whole, not that I didn't like the whole
The middle
series,
dragged
It's just there was
bit.
so much going on. You're just trying to connect the dots, and you can't connect it to the end to see
Yeah.
what actually was going on. At least with The Last of Us, from episode 1 to the end, it was legit.
I do, but I will say my number 2 is Loki. But I enjoy that because sometimes I don't enjoy going into a piece of entertainment and knowing what's going to happen. You know, like The Last of Us, we know what's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
So you know, as
I think
gamers,
that's why I lean
as
to-
gamers,
I think that's why I lean towards a bit of Loki because it's more when in the landscape of media and stories that we just constantly tell over and over again. I've seen so much post-apocalyptic stuff.
yeah,
It's good. I'm not saying it's like Heavenly Delusion, like the anime we
Well,
talked
the
about.
post-apoc-
It's good. Attack on Titan is technically a post-apocalyptic.
Walking Dead. How long?
yeah,
The Walking
I
Dead.
think that's
And
why-
last year, there was a couple new series, right? The Negan and
there's a Daryl spin.
the Daryl
Yeah,
spinoff,
yeah.
the
Yeah,
Negan
yeah. Oh my god!
spinoff.
I'm Walking Dead. I've watched like season 2 or 3.
And the Rick and Michonne one is coming out.
God.
you know, so-
but
So-
with Loki, it was something so different, even within Marvel.
Yeah.
It's like the aesthetic of like the 1950s, the orange, the TVA, Loki
they
himself.
did good.
I think that's why I put Loki season 2 a little bit above season 1.
You know,
of,
and it's something that I won't even sit here and be like, oh my God, for real, bro? Like, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was difficult. Like, I had a difficult time picking between what is my number 1.
Yeah.
It was between Last of Us or Loki.
Yeah.
I know Matt disagrees with this, but like a lot of
Ooh,
people.
hot take.
I know how a lot of people like Andor, right? He's still looking for his sister.
Something about a sister, man. I
But
don't know what's
Andor,
going on with the sister.
I don't know if it's a minority of Star Wars fans, but there's a group of Star Wars fans who love Andor.
Andor, was that 2023?
22.
22.
Oh.
22.
But and because people were kind of especially season 2 of Mando, and season 3 was kind of disappointing, especially comparing Mandalorian from like
yeah.
season 1.
Yeah. They're going away from what
But I think
that character is, in my opinion. But anyways, keep on,
within
sorry.
the MCU, you have 2023 for MCU, Echo for the TV shows,
Yeah.
right? What else came out?
Echo
Loki,
was good.
obviously.
I like Echo.
What I feel like something else came out for MCU.
I mean, of course something came out, bro. It's just at this point they're
Yeah.
they're starting to bleed together. That's
But-
when you know the media needs like
But
a revamp.
I think Loki was the Andor of the MCU because
Okay.
it stands
That's good.
so different from everything else. You
Yeah.
got Mando, which brings up the classic, Western,
Yeah.
right? The wolf and the wolf and the cub, the classic
Yeah.
samurai
Yeah, yeah,
tale,
yeah, yeah.
right? I mean, that's essentially what the classic Star Wars is the
Yeah.
Western fantasy classic.
Well, we get more insight on a live action Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Not that the Pedro Pascal's character, but
I mean, the opening of Mandalorian of
yes.
season 1, episode 1. His first bounty hunt.
You know what
I can
yeah.
bring you in hot, or
Yeah,
I can bring
or
you in
in
cold.
cold.
Man, that line right there, he doesn't have to speak any much.
That's also like I think what's happening with Mandalorian, where they're going away from that. It's a similar thing we were talking about like Marvel, right? Where it's like stop so much worrying about the overall threat.
Yeah.
Like let's go. At the end of the day, he's a bounty hunter. Can we go back and do some
Bounty hunting?
Bounty hunting. Like I think he bounty hunted like twice in this entire series. You know?
So 2 was gonna be Loki for you, or for
me as
well.
well.
Ahsoka's gonna be number 2 for me.
Okay, that
this,
means-
this is the first time
Yeah.
while we're having this discussion, I'm actually
You're just
like
biased. bro.
really
That's what it is.
thinking.
You're just biased.
I brought up good reasons. His only counter, you're biased.
You're biased.
Your argument is invalid.
Ahsoka, like I love Ahsoka. It's one of my favorite characters. Well, I think she is number 1 for me in the Star Wars universe, as just because of
Just
what she
favorite
stands
character,
for.
right?
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not, not because she was a Jedi, because she saw the political background behind everything, right? And then I watched the Rebels. I saw how she was. Growing up, right? And then I'm like, man, we need something live action. The fact that they got Rosario Dawson, that's how you say her name, right?
Yeah, Rosario Dawson.
And then the fact that it brings in Ezra, which, named after, my little boy, my son is Ezra. So he's one with the Force, and then just everybody else, Sabine. And who knows, Sabine was going to be training as a Jedi.
What I
right?
enjoyed about Ahsoka was that it was a closure for me. I know it's called Ahsoka. I think I said it in our Ahsoka episode. But what my favorite thing about Ahsoka was that it was the conclusion to Rebels.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was.
It
Rebels
made me
season
feel
5.
like yes, exactly.
It was Rebels season 5.
It made
and
me
like,
feel like Rebels.
and you're like, closure.
Yeah.
And it
introduces
opens up.
for me one of my favorite Star Wars characters.
That's what I was about to say.
Oh yeah, you're
Thrawn.
That's
Oh
my
my
favorite
God.
character, man.
Man,
Thrawn.
You evil, bro.
He's an interesting,
He's not-
pragmatic
Yes.
character. That's
Yeah.
what it. He's not.
Is he working for the Empire? Sure, but he has his own agenda.
Sidious,
Yeah, yep.
Sidious is. Oh, I mean, they've changed Sidious's characterization a lot, but Sidious in the original trilogy is supposed to be the typical evil wizard in the wizard
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
You know, classic Star Wars. Then they turn it into a politician who takes over, like similar to a Roman. It
was like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And now
much.
he kind of goes back into being a lich, like a classic lich character. Like somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah.
No one knows. So he's like back to being Voldemort. So Palpatine's like
Yeah,
he has a lot. He
he's
has a lot.
Sauron.
He's like he's all over the place. But Thrawn is the classic pragmatic villain. For me, Thrawn is just so much more interesting.
I was hoping because in Rebels you see him fight Ezra, but I was hoping to see that type of act because he's taught like these
He's
like
like a
martial
master.
arts.
He's a master in several martial arts.
Yeah, and then there
It's
was a-
coming.
Oh,
It's
man.
coming.
It was just
Yeah.
good because it brought like a lot of people didn't watch Rebels, so they don't know that branch from when Ahsoka left because she left as a pretty much like
Yeah.
a kid, and she's like a nice
I feel-
young adult
Yeah.
in Rebels, right?
Very
she got
true.
her white lightsaber. She fights Vader. She has that moment. People thought when you watch that she died, but then you realize like she survived. And then I like her little owl, owl that always follows her.
It's
that
like
sigil.
there's a name particular, but it's
Yeah,
basically like
that
the
was-
owl of Minerva.
Yes,
which
correct.
is Athena for
Yes,
Romans.
That was from Clone Wars. That
and then
episode.
it followed her into the show, and
Yeah.
then
wisdom and like knowledge. But there's a particular name for in the Star Wars universe that owl is called. It's like a force owl or some force
And
ghost owl.
if you notice in Ahsoka, like you don't see the camera on her 90% of the time.
No,
You get a lot of Sabine in it. You
Yeah.
get the whole background of this what's his name, the guy that passed, R.I.P.
He's an interesting character.
Yes.
That's so unfortunate that the actor like passed away because that character. I mean, going to Game of Thrones, one of
Yeah.
the biggest like letdowns for me for Game of Thrones is like the whole idea of what Daenerys said. I'm gonna break the wheel, right?
Yes.
the cycle.
And that's what he was trying to do,
Even
right?
going to Attack on Titan, like I mean,
Ray Stevenson.
like just
That
the,
was
the
actor.
cycle. The cycle. Look at how Attack on Titan ended. The cycle of war. The cycle of empires rising, falling.
Yeah,
He was an interesting
Balin.
character because
Balin. He was he didn't want it to be just Jedi and
Yeah,
the
he
Sith.
wanted to end the cycle
Yeah.
because it's a cycle of
because
like
he was a Jedi master.
and it's even further than just like because in the Star Wars universe, Jedi, especially in the Republic where Yoda was leading it, it was almost like the church
Yeah.
of the Pope. Like
Yeah.
Yoda's like the Pope leading
Yeah.
in like a medieval society, right?
I think what stole that series of Ahsoka, like season 1, was Hayden Christensen coming back and reprising his role with the flashback.
It was cool seeing some live action Clone Wars
yeah,
stuff.
with the outfit, his
Yeah,
hair,
the armor,
the
oh, the
armor,
little
his hair.
longer curly hair. Yeah. Looks good.
I think that was a good series. There's we could touch base on other series like Monarch, like Legacy of
Monarch, man. That was
That's-
for me that one. In terms of like the nerd realm, for sure, I would say Monarch is like my third, because I think America finally got the Godzilla formula entertaining. I don't want to say right.
I think
but
mainly what always lacked was the human component.
yeah,
Like
And
usually,
you
like
got-
I'm tired of these human stories. Just show me Godzilla.
Yeah, because definitely like Godzilla 2014, like this MonsterVerse, right?
Yeah.
That they're doing. You kind of don't care about the characters, and like I've watched the movies, and all I care about is the monsters, right? Like I was just telling
minus
Matt
one
where
came out last year. Is it minus
this
one?
year. This
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Was 2024?
Yeah.
What was
No,
the other
minus one
one
came out in 2023.
Yeah,
Which one?
Minus one.
minus one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, minus one came out 2023.
Monarch
Yeah,
started
yeah.
in 2023, but it's
Yeah.
still going, right?
No, it ended. Already.
ended? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But like my whole point is that Monarch actually makes you care about characters. It adds something interesting to this world, where they now have Godzilla,
Yeah.
King Kong, Ghidorah, Rodon, Mothra.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I don't think it's been completely done since like the 70s. Or,
What did you think about Kurt Russell being in the show?
It's so
Funny.
random.
I
It's
like
funny.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
I like
it was
him,
so
yeah.
random.
Isn't
Like,
his-
I think he killed it.
Isn't his son also in the movie? His real life son?
I'm not 100% sure.
His real life,
Wyatt Russell.
his real life son is the same guy who played
A younger
Captain
version,
America.
Was it his younger version of him?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
In the show.
I only watched episode 1. Does he play? Do
me
they
see.
play?
Because he has the same name, Lee Shaw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he plays
He plays a younger version.
He plays a younger version.
Oh, that's
of
cool.
him.
I didn't know that.
I
Okay.
see, and that's one thing too. I like how the story's told. It's this consistent like flip
No,
between
I
the
think there's
present.
a good like a storyline to it.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
just
yeah,
random
yeah.
monsters
No,
you
it's
see on
fun.
there.
It's fun. It's a good story. It's great. One of my, I know this is gonna be a shock. One of my favorite
here we
TV
go.
series from 23 was actually One Piece.
I don't know.
liked
I
it.
watched like 2 episodes and I'm like,
I watched.
Nah.
I mean,
I liked it.
it was.
you turn
for
into
me,
those One Piece fans, man.
Nah,
You're gonna,
nah, nah,
you're
nah.
gonna be hanging out with them at the MegaCon.
when we're talking about the classic big 3: Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto.
Yeah.
Of those 3, I think.
I would even put One Piece in that, man.
What?
No,
you're
but those are the
crazy,
classic.
Matt.
Those are
I
the
know it is considered one of the big
The
three,
classic-
but because I don't like it,
Yeah.
Because like
I don't
the father of those 3 is basically Dragon Ball Z.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh,
Right?
for sure.
Of Shonen. And then the big 3 of the 2010s is Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto. Of those 3, I think One Piece is maybe one of the hardest to do live action.
I think it was successful.
The reason for it is because Luffy as a character is like Bugs Bunny.
It is.
Yeah.
Of the
He
three,
is, bro.
because Naruto gets serious at points. Bleach gets serious,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
serious at
This
points.
dude
Oh
is-
yeah, once you start seeing people die
Luffy-
around you,
Yeah, Luffy's like made of rubber. He's like he defies the law of physics. You know how Bugs Bunny, like the hunters always,
Yeah.
and then Bugs Bunny just like does these weird like things. Like,
Plot armor.
It's very cartoony. It's like very classic, like Popeyes. It's over the top.
Yes.
So that's
Wow,
why
yeah.
it's so hard to put that into real life
Yeah.
because it's the most cartoonish of the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
not for
I
me.
think the actor
my
who-
daughter loves that show.
The
man.
actor who
The
portrayed
anime?
Luffy.
yeah, she loves one.
The actor who portrayed Luffy and how they
Oh,
portrayed
that's
him,
Luffy.
He's
Yeah.
That's Luffy.
the closest thing you can get to a live action Luffy because that's a hard character
Can't
to
do
play.
it. I can't.
Yeah.
He's he's just so like absent-minded.
Yeah.
Just I'm gonna become the king of pirates.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even Naruto has like, oh why? At least Naruto had an explanation.
And
He's
it's,
just like
and it's dark. Naruto's dark because
Yeah.
he's depressed because he's by himself. Nobody
Yeah.
wants
Bleach.
to
Ichigo's so much more like deep than Luffy. Just more so.
play. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure me saying this is I'm gonna get like death threats from like One Piece fans because I didn't read all 1,000 chapters. I'm sorry, I didn't read all. Maybe Luffy gets more complex later on. I wouldn't be surprised because I mean there's a lot of
I would expect him to.
that's 1,000
Yeah.
chapters.
That's a lot of character
It's a
development.
lot of episodes, let alone the books.
Yeah, but from
The
what I know
mangas.
of One Piece, I only watched like 60 episodes back in like 2009.
You're just boring.
He's very Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's a good-
I would I don't know. I don't want to say because like I don't want to mention it or whatnot. I just don't like it, and I don't think it's worth. worth my
His mentor, Luffy's mentor, the red hair guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Shaw?
forgot his
Shanks.
name.
Shanks. I was like, I know it's Shaw. Yeah, Shanks. I mean, he literally looks like Ryan Gosling, so it's kind of funny watching him because
Yeah.
I showed you the drive meme, but. One thing that impressed me with Netflix's like CGI budget is when they show like
yeah.
how he got his scars, and they
Yeah.
showed like that huge whale serpent thing.
Yeah.
That scene when they do like an up close shot of the serpent, that was really good CGI.
Yeah.
That was an impressive scene. I'm like, man,
Absolutely.
the CGI was actually well done.
I think it was good, man. I like, especially for me. You especially me.
Nah,
you know
bro.
how I feel about One Piece. But
You're
I
turning
watched.
into a One Piece simp, man.
No, far from
One Piece
that.
sip right here,
I
man.
just watched it and I was like, this is entertaining. This got me more into One Piece than actually watching the anime.
Matt live reaction to listening us talk about One Piece.
shaking
man.
my head.
I'm gonna even tell you this, and I know we talked about it. I actually enjoyed. It's not like one of my top 10s, but I enjoyed it. Was the Twisted Metal series?
That's okay. Yeah, see, that's okay.
Did you watch it?
I did not watch
I didn't
it.
get into it. I
I
can
don't
tell
know
you.
why. Maybe
I
because
wa-
I like what's his name? Anthony, whatever his
Falcon.
name.
Anthony
Falcon
Mackie.
guy. Yeah, I think he's a good actor. I don't know. I liked it. It was actually
His name is Clarence.
Claire's parents have a real good marriage.
And he went to private school.
I think the reason probably why I like it because we're so used to seeing like your typical Marvel, DC, different.
Can I say something too? He's also Tupac. In the,
yes,
in the
right.
Biggie movie.
Yeah, true. He played Tupac.
A lot of people forget about that.
That's right.
I talking about Twisted Metal. I watched one scene randomly that people were making fun of it on Twitter, and it was a scene where I think he's getting his ass kicked by
Sweet Tooth?
And like
Yes.
in a casino.
Yo, that Sweet
Right?
Tooth is crazy.
I think Sweet Tooth looks
and-
cool, first
yeah,
off.
he's
That-
crazy in this.
Nah.
Like,
I would watch One Piece 4 more times from episode 1 to episode 8 than I would ever watch Twisted Metal. That show was. That's what. I could be wrong, but the scene I saw in the trailer, that show looks horrible.
Just watch it. You know me. If I watch that, it's hard for me to get into things. Yeah. And I watched that.
You watched BVS. He watched BVS last night for the 20th time.
No, like 200 times.
I'm still waiting for Matt's like 8-hour retrospective video.
I'm still waiting for that. Yeah, at this point, you should be you should be seeing the cameraman in reflections.
You should be sitting. You should be having TED Talks.
And I love the fact that I can go back to stuff like that because I'm not usually someone who likes that. But if I can watch Game of Thrones all over again,
that makes sense.
And enjoy it.
That's
like
funny.
and like if I'm watching it for the first time, not much people can say that. Nobody can just sit there and be like and watch something you watch for like 100th time.
No, I get it.
You know,
Especially during this
so
time.
good.
Because I feel like rewatchability is difficult to do now.
It is.
It's
There's so
rare.
much
It's
stuff
really
out.
rare for me to.
Yeah.
I usually only
There's so
rewatch
much stuff
something
coming
if
out.
I want to show like a friend something, and I watch it with them. Because
a
other
lot-
than that, there's so. I mean, think about how many movies we didn't watch. Just we haven't even gotten to movies. How many TV shows we didn't watch? Look at anime. Look at how we were. Oh, did you watch this? I didn't watch that.
And I
It's
think
just
we
so
get
much.
into a lot of stuff like we'll try to test it out and we don't like it. And
For
we
sure.
there's so many.
I
'cause
usually
that's-
give like something like maybe
An
anywhere
episode?
from an episode to 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it comes
Depend-
to series, I give everything about 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
anything
Movies,
that would throw
30
like
minutes.
a curveball that you wouldn't think that we would think that you watch.
Who, me?
Both of you.
Easy. Only Murders in the Building on Hulu. That's one of my favorite shows.
I watched one episode with you that he showed me, and it was
was
good.
good?
Yeah.
A murder mystery.
It's
classic,
murder mystery.
like classic, like
Oh, yeah,
classic
murder
whodunit,
but like Clue,
season after
like a
season.
Clue-ish like type of
Well, that's not
vibe.
bad then, because I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Selena Gomez is in it.
Oh, that's right. That's more her more
Recent,
recent.
yeah, I think
so.
Acting.
Yeah. It's a great show. I love the dialogue. I love the chemistry with among the main characters.
Another one was the one that we were just mentioned, the Fall of Usher. I
The
was
Fall
told
of
to
House
watch.
of Usher.
I haven't watched that yet.
I watched
That's
one
really
episode,
good.
and
I
then
heard that's really good.
Again, like I liked the first episode.
It's
I
good.
didn't stop watching because I didn't like it.
Oh, it gets
but
so
it was just
gory.
so much stuff. Like,
That's what I was told. It was like very dark.
It's super
So that's
dark.
good. So that's something I'll.
have you
I'll-
guys heard of either Succession, which ended in 2023?
Why I heard of it, but I didn't watch
Succession is actually. I always argue myself out of my lists and rankings. I'm always horrible at rankings. Succession. Now that I remember, Succession is my number 1 show of the year because it ended. It's like it was on the season 4, season
Really?
5, and it's think of Game of Thrones.
it. I thought you said Loki was.
Yeah, that's why I just said I argue myself out of my rankings. I'm horrible at rankings. But Succession, think of Game of Thrones.
Bias.
But think of Game of Thrones. Think of Game of Thrones, but set in like in the Fox.
You're playing with my emotions right now, brother.
Modern corporate world. Of like Fox News, of like manipulating elections.
Oh, so it's more political.
Yeah, in a family. Think of the Lannisters, but they own Fox News.
Oh damn!
Right,
Yeah.
Tywin leading them as the head of Fox News, which is the same as Roger Stone, the
Yeah.
Australian who founded Fox
Yeah.
News, billionaire, multi-billionaire family, and it's just one daughter and 3 sons battling it out for the succession of being the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
And it's very black, a lot of black comedy. It's very, very funny, and it just kind of shows you a glimpse of the 1% of the 1% of the world. Like, oh, my private jet. There's a particular scene in this show where like the founder, he's like going through a booklet, and he's
Yeah.
like that his daughter gave him for his birthday. And he's going through the booklet, and he's like, oh, these are nice houses. What are these? Dad, these are all your houses. This is how rich these people are.
Like, oh,
right?
yeah, I
They have
forgot.
like maybe like 40 plus houses, mansions here, but
Here
like,
I gotta meal prep with ramen noodles every single day
Yeah.
to make sure I have enough.
Long story
something to eat.
long story short,
know?
that show was
I
amazing.
thought you said Secret Invasion was your favorite. It's-
Oh.
Talking about CGI.
Wait. We'll get to our worst things
Okay.
of 23.
And then the other mention that you guys might not have heard of is For All Mankind. It's on,
I've heard of
seen it.
Fallen Mankind.
it's
haven't
on
watched it,
Apple.
though. Like, yeah,
season
Yes.
3 or 4 just ended, and it's
Apple needs
basically
to do better, man, with their stuff because
Bro,
they don't
I
have
just-
a lot of good
another
stuff.
silo.
Silo.
I know that's
Oh
like
my-
Apple makes good stuff, man.
I'm already
Yeah.
arguing myself again.
Look.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about Silo. Silo is such a great
Can't
sci-fi
make
show.
up his mind, man.
But yeah, For All Mankind, it's like alternate history of the space race. What if the space race kept going, basically?
so cool.
And it goes throughout. Each season is basically has like a time skip.
I think I started that because it's more newer, right?
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
season
I
is
think
like
I
in the
start-
1950s, and
yes.
now season 4 is like in the early 2000s.
I think I started watching that.
So those are my two, you might not have heard of picks of the For All Mankind and Succession.
Yeah, and then
What about you?
There's a
Oh, for me it was Only Murders in the Building.
Okay.
Yeah. Matt, how about you?
for the top.
No.
Of, like
for-
maybe we might not have heard of.
like
Oh.
a show that we would like, because you said, a show that you watched that, but you wouldn't expect people to know you watched.
Man, that's a good question, man. You know what? I definitely can go in and like look at my history, but I think a lot of the stuff that I do watch, I know y'all like. Besides like the whole like BVS and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Everything else, I think that that I like watching. I rewatched a lot of stuff recently though. Well, and we'll go into movies, but like TV shows, like I'm not big. Like I like rewatching a lot of stuff because there's it's competition for me. It's like trying to win my heart. You got to give me something good, and to compete with Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Last of Us. It's hard. Like I go through list and list of things, and I can't find something that I stick to story wise, unless it's anime.
Yeah.
But TV series and stuff like that, Loki would probably be the top one besides like Ahsoka. If we're talking about MCU, DC, last year actually, the Titans was a lot finished. I enjoyed Titans. I don't know if you ever watched Titans,
No.
but it was very dark.
Nice. Okay.
Dark. So, but James Gunn took over and shut down. Everything.
That's a whole other thing for 2024.
So they released the last season. That was it,
Yeah.
and we got to call it a day and move on, and just go back to watching Henry Cavill back in BVS and Man of Steel. But I think movies is going to be the hit spot for us.
All right,
because
so
there's
let's-
a lot that came out in 2023, good and bad.
Yeah.
So we can go into the movies and Giovanni, I want to know what your movie is.
Wait. So we're gonna go right off the bat, top one, and we're gonna count down. Let's say like a top three.
Nah, why are you gonna put me in this?
this
I'm
is-
horrible
okay.
at rankings. I'm already sweating. My palms are sweaty.
This week we'll give our top movie, but then we can just mention good movies that we enjoy,
okay,
and then
okay.
and then bad movies. We don't got to go in a list like 1, 2, 3. 4. We'll
Yeah,
but
of
I
course
want to
not,
know your top.
All right, starting
Top
on
movie.
number 500. No, but no.
He's about to cry on camera. Anxiety. His armpits sweating over there.
I have to say I didn't watch Oppenheimer off the bat. 'cause
I didn't watch it
I'm
either.
pretty sure if I watched it because of the theme and the
I
topic,
already know what it is. Barbie.
Barbie's up there. But I wouldn't. I might
watch
put
that.
Barbie.
It's good.
You watched it,
I
Barbie?
might,
Yes.
I might watch.
It's
I might
good.
put
I'm
Barbie
good.
in my top 20. I don't think I'll put Barbie in my top 10. And there's so many movies I haven't watched that I want to watch for 2023.
Kind of messed up. Now that you mentioned Barbie, the whole award stuff that they gave Brad Pitt, he was announced or nominated.
You talking about Ryan Gosling though, right?
Oh no, yeah. Why did I say Brad Pitt? But Ryan Gosling, same type of guy,
Same
right?
type of guy.
Yeah, no, it's kind of messed
Good-looking
up because
blonde
not
guy.
even the director or the Margaret Robbie.
Margot Robbie, yeah.
She didn't even get nominated. It was
Who
just,
got nominated was
It was Ryan Gosling's
and
character.
also the as best supporting actress, which I was confused that they didn't put Margot as at least
Yeah.
nominate her because the best supporting actress was the woman who played the mother. Oh, right. I was surprised. I mean, it's not like I think she
that
was.
movie brought in so much money.
Yeah, I think she was the same
it's a-
actress
look,
who
it
played
is a good
Ugly
movie,
Betty
though.
from like
Yeah.
15 years ago. Remember
Yeah.
Ugly Betty?
I think between that and Oppenheimer was like the top
Yeah,
Warner Brother
They're
movies.
yeah, I mean, that summer of 2023 was. I mean, it's hard. They caught like the movie industry caught
Yeah.
like genie like lightning in a bottle,
Yeah.
right? Because Barbieheimer, like that
Yeah.
that phenomena,
Yeah.
when they had so much free advertisement by people on Twitter,
yeah.
Instagram, they barely had to spend advertisement.
Merchandise from the
everyone
movies,
was
everything
talking-
was. They made money. They needed it though because they were suffering from all the losses from DC.
Yeah.
That's true.
Everyone was talking about those two movies. Like, oh, I'm gonna watch.
Barbieheimer.
I'm gonna watch Oppenheimer, dark, dark and moody, and then ended light with
Yeah.
Barbie. And a lot of people apparently watched.
I haven't
it
watched
back to
both
back.
of them. So
I
like,
watched Oppenheimer, and
You think it's like
I'm
one
pretty
of
sure.
the
For me,
top?
for me-
for number one movie of 2023.
My opinion from what I saw.
So yours was
Oh, I didn't even mention it because I always argue myself out of the rankings. But I think without watching Oppenheimer, I think it's Godzilla -1.
okay.
Which
All
I
right.
don't. I think that's kind of like a cold take because a lot of lists had that as the best movie of the year.
I don't think it's a cold take. The one because it
It
is
was
a good
either
film.
it was between Oppenheimer and I'm pretty sure if I see like if I look up on Google like top movies of the 2023, it's gonna either be Godzilla -1, and Oppenheimer, or maybe every once in a while you see a Barbie
No,
in there.
I respect that. No.
Yeah, because Godzilla -1 just reminded everyone how to do a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
They
The human component.
the human component.
so good, so good.
They made the human characters that made you care, and they made I love monster films, and I'm gonna categorize
Oh, yeah.
obviously Godzilla as a monster film, right? I like Godzilla. I like the werewolf, the mummy. But the biggest component that ends up happening when anyone takes any one of these licenses and tries to create a film, they turn them into action films.
Yeah.
And that's a problem because at the end of the day,
Can't
these
make
monsters
everything an
were
action film.
born from human creativity, and we create monsters out of things we fear.
Yep.
And these monsters should be scary. Godzilla -1 captured the horror of Godzilla again for me. And that was
Yeah, for real.
what the original
I know
first Godzilla
before
movie
that,
did.
I think that was your favorite, right? The 2004 Godzilla movie or something like that.
No way. Yeah,
The-
right.
Is that the one with
it
the
2004?
guy
Matthew Broderick one?
Ferris Bueller?
The Iguanazilla?
Hey man,
It was so small in that. And
It's one of the smallest
us
ones.
growing up, we had no choice. That was the only Godzilla we had.
and then the Godzilla back then when
Yeah.
he did the kick.
Oh, remember the look? Remember the Godzilla? Sir,
flying with his
Bro,
feet.
Godzilla's hilarious.
Sir,
yeah.
sir, remember the scene? Very obscure scene from Godzilla. Sir, have some candy. I don't want some candy.
I don't want any candy.
Very obscure scene. But yeah, Godzilla -1, man. When it comes to the human component of bringing in, like, obviously Godzilla being, a metaphor for the atomic bomb, and the best, like, I think this is like an easy take. The best atomic breath scene
Oh, God.
of all Godzilla films, all 40 Godzilla films.
Coldest take of the entire episode.
Yeah, I know.
Which one?
Best atomic breath scene.
If you look
from
at
the
Minus
we
one.
watched.
Oh, no,
we
see, I
watched,
haven't watched
We
this,
watched
so.
this on IMAX, right? And when Godzilla finally did the
What's the
atomic
color
breath,
in that one?
what do you mean?
Like what is his breath? Blue? Like the fire that comes out his
It's-
it was
It's white pretty much because it's the equivalent of an atomic bomb. When the atomic bomb goes
Just
off,
like a flash.
it's just a flash.
I'm actually trying to remember.
Oh.
I don't
So
think.
it's
Yeah, I don't
like-
think it was the
Yeah, it's like
typical
white.
blue,
Damn.
typical
Yeah,
blue
bro,
or red.
It's
And
the best atomic breath
Yeah.
ever.
I have to
on
watch.
screen.
I have to watch Oppenheimer for because of this to compare.
Oh, yeah,
because which
Doesn't they drop an atomic bomb in
which
there,
has
too?
the best atomic bomb scene, just of the explosion. And apparently Nolan wanted to use an actual atomic bomb, but I don't think.
How the hell you do that?
President Biden, can I give
Can I get the
permission?
code?
Can I borrow?
Can I borrow the?
I heard you guys have a stockpile.
Very weird. Very
we
weird.
just use one of the clearance ones that you
Very-
have stored away.
Very weird tangent, but I think very soon, maybe this year, next year, China apparently is going to film the first movie in space.
Ooh, that's
So
interesting.
if any country will actually,
Well, you know,
we're going to
Tom
use an
Cruise-
atomic bomb for this
Tom
scene.
Cruise
It might be
wants to be
China.
the first actor to film in space.
Tom Cruise needs to sit down. That guy,
I think that's
he's
what I
wild.
read
I
last
give that guy
year.
respect. If I was,
No, that's what I'm saying. Like he's wild,
man,
bro.
if I was 80 and I'm like, do you want to act in a scene where you're doing a free fall scene from the space? I'm like, all right.
Do you want
I'll
to run
it.
across a speeding train? Yeah, totally.
Let's do
He
it.
does always
no.
like his own stunts.
Yeah, that's
too.
what I'm
yeah,
saying. And he does it with such positive energy.
Yeah. That guy, I think he's one of those guys. Like, I watch one movie every day.
Yeah.
He's that guy. He loves film. But Godzilla -1 for me was my number one movie, best atomic scene, atomic breath scene. But the best scene of the movie is a little bit right after. I don't want to spoil it for you. But
No, it's all good.
It's right at. No, it's not all good because it's a really good scene. It's the main. I know what I'm talking
rain?
about. Well, the fallout.
The Fallout rain, yeah.
The fallout rain scene was
Powerful.
powerful. Like when you talk about a human component, for me, for you get the Godzilla formula right,
Yeah.
and for your most powerful scene to be not even Godzilla,
Yeah.
it's the human component. You know you got the
And
Godzilla.
we're talking about -1.
yeah,
course.
you know you got the Godzilla film
I'm gonna
right.
watch it. Like, what the heck am I watching?
You're gonna. I think you're gonna like it. I mean, it's really hard not to like it.
You're gonna love it. Yeah, I don't think there's any. Yeah, you cannot.
See, for my thing for 2023, I'm trying to pinpoint like a top that blew me out of the waters, and I don't think I have one that I have a lot of ones that I like, and I don't want to be biased. You're gonna be like, oh, you like Snyder. I was gonna say Rebel Moon, but you're like, oh, Zack Snyder.
No.
And I wonder,
but look, I had the conversation with him. So for real, out of in 2023, everything you watch, Rebel Moon's the biggest one that got you.
I just like that fantasy style, that space stuff.
Matt, you're objectively wrong.
No, and I like the space. I like the typical story, and I like what is his name? Anthony.
Anthony, an actor,
the old guy that plays dude,
Anthony, old guy Hopkins.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins. Yeah. He plays the robot guy.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting his name. The voice.
So I'll tell you this.
And it's not because it's a new movie, Zack Snyder. I just like. I don't know, when I'm watching it, I like that scenery.
No, I agree. I agree. It was a very good looking movie.
It gave me that Star Wars vibes, but at my taste of things, if I was gonna write something, I had that same vision of creating something like that, where the fight scenes and they had some big names in there too.
No, they did.
So
absolutely.
it wasn't like your budget movies. I think Netflix did good with letting Zach do his thing on and CGI, directing the movie. But
so you think that you had a more powerful response to Rebel Moon than Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
Well, that's the thing. That was like the competition there.
Yeah.
Because I did like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but at the same time, I felt they didn't do justice for Adam Warlock.
Yeah. Oh, man. That was
a missed opportunity.
They did the Hulk to him.
Yeah.
They made him into a gag.
And I read something about it that they didn't want the movie to be surrounded with him. But at the same time, Adam Warlock is a big character in Marvel. He actually wields the gauntlet.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
James Gunn wanted to obviously end the Guardians of the Galaxy, so you want the main focus of the film to be the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Correct.
And then MCU came in and like, we're gonna have one of the requirements is to have Adam Warlock here, and then James Gunn was like,
they made him
I'll put him in here.
Like a little kid. Like I get it. They released him early. That was the goal. Because he was incubating, but at the same time, I think they didn't do him justice. So for Rebel Moon and Guardians, I'm right there because that's my genre.
I understand that because between the two, I think Guardians of the Galaxy. I'll be fair. I haven't watched Rebel Moon, but my feeling is I'm gonna prefer Guardians of the Galaxy.
I can see you prefer.
But the vibe of space and like the idea of like government and stuff like that, I prefer Rebel Moon.
Oh yeah, the political background on that is crazy.
I know the main villain is like basically it looks like Warhammer 40K.
Yeah,
like it literally like Nazis, fascists.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna. That's the actors.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna spoil the actors. The two big characters besides that I forgot the chick's name, but the villain. Mm-hmm. And the guy that's with the main actor are the two guys from Game of Thrones that are with the sons, the Red Sons.
He played Daenerys' boyfriend for a bit.
The villain was the beginning guy. Then they changed the actor.
Changed him,
And the two guys are in Rebel Moon.
He was also in Deadpool 1.
Yes,
he was the villain of.
So that was a.
He always plays a good bad guy.
Yeah. But then in Rebel Moon though, the other guy, the recast, he's kind of like the farmer weakling guy. He's not like
what was the Game
guy.
of Thrones character's name? Door.
The door. I don't know, something like that. But he commanded the what is it? The Sons.
Something like that. Yeah. I remember. I can't remember the name.
But it was good, and I think it's that the space and just the CGI was pretty good, but everything looked.
Yeah, I mean, you can never fault Snyder's like
even this guy Ray Fisher's character was freaking awesome.
Whose character?
Ray Fisher.
Ray Fisher
from Cyborg.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's
I didn't even know he was in there.
Yeah, he's a big character too. And then the guns are legit. I like the guns. It wasn't your typical Star Wars guns. Yeah, they had like that laser stuff, but the guns look legit. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, just something like that. So that with Guardians is gonna be like back to back, but I'm gonna favor more on the Rebel Moon side because I enjoy that, and I don't have to worry about that James Gunn influence with Rebel Moon.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, they have a different space. One's like more comedy, more like loose.
And
Even though
Rebel Moon's more like
yeah.
dark.
Even Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is actually the darkest of the three because of
all the scenes with Raccoon.
Yeah. And even then, I can understand like the presentation of. I prefer the presentation of Rebel Moon.
You didn't
as
watch
a film.
it?
Yeah.
Which one?
Rebel Moon?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the one who didn't watch it, but I understand me even preferring Rebel Moon's presentation, but preferring the
And the political background
the
stuff.
overall film of Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
3, just because Snyder's like bad part is like plot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes to the visuals,
Yeah.
Snyder he's in
that's
his
what I'm
own
saying.
league.
The movie
Snyder's good.
looks.
It's crazy.
He knows how to make things look
Yeah,
cool.
the movie looks.
Yeah.
The movie looks cool.
And he's like,
That's what I can't.
add a little slow motion there. Yeah.
And there is a lot of slow motion.
Yeah,
in
of
it.
course.
It's
It's
slow motion.
It's Snyder.
Snyder's
obviously.
obsessed with slow motion.
But it's so good though. But
Now would you overdo it though?
Yeah. And then you have to see, this is a movie you have to pay attention to understand
Like Andor.
what is going on.
Are there sisters? A lot of
I don't know.
sisters.
Is there some sisters in that? Maybe brothers. Maybe I don't know. But it was good. I like the
Nice. Okay.
It was good for me. For me, I'll say that's top. But
That's why I was curious because when you said it, I was like, oh no way. Because in my mind, I was like, I think Matt's gonna pick Guardians. That's why I was just like,
I was until Rebel Moon came out.
That's why I was like, whoa, hold on, go back. I have to ask
yeah.
you this because I was like, maybe he forgot that Guardians came out last year.
Because
I was
I don't think I've talked about it on the pod, but obviously I'm a book author and my genre is fantasy, epic fantasy, and all that stuff. So the next story that I'm working on is something space wise. Obviously more on the powers and all that good stuff. So I
Yeah.
like that type of stuff, and I'm trying to incorporate how I can maybe add a little bit of romance,
You should
or add politics to it or whatever.
Watch Dune. Watch
I
Dune.
can't even get into Dune, man.
This
get the popcorn bucket. Maybe you might get into it.
This man is writing.
what was the guy's
This man
name
is writing
that-
a book about politics in space, and he cannot get into Dune. I guarantee you'll like Dune, and Dune 2 is coming out. I think in 2 months or something.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised the movies that came out last year that were actually good. And this is like out of like superhero stuff. So one of my movies that I enjoyed watching, I don't know if you watched Stars, but The Plane was a good movie.
The plane?
The Plane. And that had what's his name? Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
What other movies he played in? Oh, he was
I know.
300.
300. Yeah.
So that was a good movie, and it has
It all
Cage.
goes back to Zack Snyder again.
and Cage, the guy who plays Cage,
Luke Cage?
Luke Cage.
Oh, okay.
He's in there too, and they're like the main characters, and it's just like
It's kind of like an
typical-
action hijack plane.
Yes.
Okay, I think I might have.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised when you scroll and you see these random movies, but you see big actors, and I'm like, okay, so that was a good one for 2023 for me. That I like that I sat through watching, not just like noise
Go on
background.
your phone
and
and
just
just
listen.
Like you didn't watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I
He
didn't.
told me
Mutant
about that.
Mayhem?
Yeah.
I didn't. It was good.
It's good.
I've
It's
only heard good things
good.
about it.
I did enjoy. You're all probably gonna laugh at me. The Meg 2.
No, I could see it, bro.
It was like
It's
Yeah.
I think it's a bad good movie. It's like one of those.
Yeah.
It's a popcorn movie. Turn off your.
anything with what is it? Statham?
Jason Statham.
I completely forgot about that movie because later on I'll go in before we talk about good movies. We're only talking
It
about good
wasn't
movies.
bad acting. It's just
It's
the
cheesy.
dinosaur stuff.
cheesy.
All that.
It's B plus monster like
yeah, yeah.
sci-fi
Yes.
sci-fi channel movies. Yeah, bro. It's like Anaconda. Like I love Anaconda.
I want to
It's a
give you a
classic.
take
It's a
on
classic.
this.
Yeah.
Transformers.
Get out of here, dude. No.
The Rise of the Beast. You
I
didn't like
Fucking
it?
Bury the beast.
I didn't even know that was at 2023.
No.
Never even heard about it. What's
What?
Transformers?
No, dude.
Dang, y'all some haters. It's Beast from remember Beast Wars, what we grew
Yeah,
up
it's
with?
beautiful, but
So you have some of those characters in here.
Is that the one?
but Transformers hasn't been a good story in a long
I like it.
time.
I don't know.
I remember
like
it because it was like it was early in the. Oh, didn't a trailer come out for like the Super Bowl 2023?
Something like
Yeah,
I think that-
it
I
was,
just remembered it.
It came out June 9th.
I didn't become a fan.
I
They
saw the
lost
trailer.
me.
Horrible CGI.
They just lost me after. I think it was the third one.
I watched them all.
Yeah.
I think I watched the second to last one when they still had Shia LaBeouf, and then I never.
Dang,
I know,
you're
and-
still behind.
And then I know they
Yeah,
they
no,
brought
I
in
just
like
couldn't-
Mark Wahlberg. He's in two
Wahlberg.
of the movies.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of those.
Yeah.
So you probably like Fast X then, huh?
Oh, jeez.
All right, I think this was going to end the podcast. Was that 2023 too?
What?
Yeah.
Fast
X. Yeah.
What?
Wild.
Action.
Hey, I want to bring up Super Mario Brothers.
I bought it.
That's
I-
actually I
Oh,
really
that's
enjoyed
like,
it.
I'll say that's a top 20 movie.
Yeah,
I
Top
was
20.
Yeah,
I
I'm
wouldn't
saying.
even include.
There's no way that you're gonna mention the Meg 2 and then
Yes.
I wouldn't honestly. I don't think
I'll even give Super Mario better than the Meg 2.
Oh, absolutely.
That makes sense.
I bought it on
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I think 4K or whatnot.
Yeah.
And it came like a star. It was like a Walmart exclusive limited edition.
I honestly wouldn't even put Mario in my top 30.
Really?
Yeah, I was actually disappointed in that movie.
What?
Yeah,
Interesting.
The animation's
Okay.
good. The voice acting's good. Jack Black,
No,
amazing.
I'm gonna get you with the voice. I think they could have done better with the voice actors. Chris Pratt as Mario kind of like, didn't do justice.
I understand because people were like, why didn't they
Well, John
hire?
Leguizamo did a speech on it, or he said something
Yeah.
about, hey, why don't you have Latinos voicing these characters, because in the original, these are
Is it Mario Italian?
Yeah, they're
Is
Italian.
it Mario Japanese?
I mean, it's supposed to be an Italian.
Remember the original movie? John Leguizamo.
Japanese Italian plumber.
Well,
that lives in Brooklyn, New York.
He was Luigi in the original movie. John Leguizamo. He was the Luigi. I don't know who played Mario. Did you ever watch it?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
I think
Dude,
actually,
that's what I'm
funny,
saying.
funny enough, I think we're both Colombian here. Funny enough, the actor who played Mario in that classic Super Mario's brother from the '90s, that crazy one, he's a Colombian.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, remember
Oh, wow.
that?
Yeah.
He was in Carlito's Way.
Oh yes.
I always forget his name, but he's been an actor for like 30 plus years. But yeah, for me, Mario. Well, the same director, I think and who wrote Lego Movie did Mario.
I like Lego Movie.
Compare Lego Movie to Mario.
No,
Lego
yeah,
Movie
yeah,
is so
absolutely.
much better, like plot wise.
Lego Movie's
I
really
still remember
good.
to this day. I was one of the
So
rare.
you'll take Meg 2 over Mario?
Wait, when did I say that?
What?
No. Meg 2 wouldn't even be in my top 1,000 of 2023,
Yeah, that's
and I
what
don't
that-
even know if there was 1,000. Probably there was.
I wouldn't even rank it.
Yeah. No. Mario's a million. I
Yeah.
enjoyed Mario. I would probably, if I had to rank it, I would probably put Mario. I haven't even watched 100 movies in 2023, but if I had to
A lot
imagine,
came out. When you look it
Yeah.
up and see what
Yeah,
came out,
I might put Mario.
I didn't even watch. Did you watch Expendables 4?
No, not
I
at
didn't
all.
watch it.
There's
No,
too
no.
much better stuff coming out.
I didn't
Look.
know if y'all watched it. I didn't. And
Yeah.
that came out last year too. So Dungeons and Dragons came out.
I had that on my
That's
list.
a top
Yeah.
5 movie
you
for
like
me.
that one?
It's so
Yeah,
good.
we
I
recently
watched it, but I wasn't too fan of it.
We recently started playing D&D
good.
for the first time, my brother and I.
Bias.
And we've been wanting to play D&D for the longest time, but it was just
Yeah.
like,
It's fun.
I think I'd rather play the game than watch this movie.
The movie's fun. The movie's
think-
one of those movies that like if we have people over, you're hanging out, you put it on in the background, it's fun.
this year was a great year, I think, for because D&D got a huge surge in player base because first,
Yeah.
what,
Stranger
2015,
Things.
2015 because of Stranger Things, and this year you had both the Dungeons and Dragons movie Honor Among Thieves, and you had Baldur's Gate 3.
oh yeah,
That's
So
true.
this year was
Yeah.
2023 was an amazing year for
Baldur's
D&D.
Gate still, people
and just
going hard on
just
that.
introducing people to D&D, and funny enough, we started playing D&D for the first time in around August. But it's a big hurdle. It's a
Yeah.
big hurdle of learning the
Yeah.
rules, getting I haven't never played D&D, and I'm the first time dungeon master, but so it's a hard thing. I know
Yeah.
why. But watching the D&D movie, it's a great introduction to the world of Faerun.
Yeah.
And like showing the Underdark, which is like basically Hollow Earth theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Showing like the different classes. You have the Bard, you have the Rogue, you have the Berserker, you have the Paladin, which all these classes, I think they did so well.
Mm-hmm.
And even within the movie, whenever they would do spells, it was actually spells from the game.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
was
the monsters were actually the
everything was
monsters.
lore
I
accurate.
watched it like maybe 3 times. It's not that I don't like it,
Yeah,
but I
every-
just like to be a top movie. I'm like, nah. I'll
I
take
had-
Transformers over that. any day.
Jeez, that's crazy. That's a hot take. That's a hot
Nah, you're burning
take,
me.
bro.
You're burning
Oh,
me.
bro.
Damn, bro. That's
Man, we're gonna end the podcast before we start fighting up in here. We better throw some bows.
Hey, we can't forget to Spider-Man Across the
Oh,
Spider-Verse.
hands
That
down.
was
hands down.
yeah.
That's top 2 for me.
Yeah.
top 5 for me for sure.
For me, 3-5, yeah, probably. That, like, talk about bringing a comic book to life.
Yeah.
man.
Oh,
and
man, animation. And,
and-
we all watched it together.
oh yeah,
we
and-
enjoyed it.
And in a world now of media where everything has to be a multiverse,
Yeah.
everything has to be this has connected to this.
Yep.
Something that's so saturated in the media right now, and for them to do it as well as they
Yeah.
did,
Yeah.
man, it was
good.
It's so good.
And-
The worst thing about the movie is that it's a continuing story.
Yeah. That cliffhanger
it
was
doesn't
10.
end.
Oh
Right?
my
It was
goodness. We're like,
just-
that's what? That's it?
I wanted more.
Give me more. How about I actually like this movie, and we talked about it on one of our Marvel episodes. Was the Ant-Man Quantumania?
Funny enough,
That was what, man. That's 2023.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Funny enough, it's one of your favorites. I have to mention it. I have it as one of my disappointments of 23.
Really?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I put down
No, that was
5
what-
movies that I thought were a
And
disappointment.
the reason why, not because of I'm not a big Ant-Man person. I just like the
Quantum World.
The quantum world.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
like
cool.
I love space or something that has to do with space and time.
Yeah.
I think that intrigues me, and that's what gives me, I guess, the motivation to create stories.
That
Gotcha.
one was probably
Well,
one of
now what,
Yeah.
what
that
the-
was my biggest, like, other than Loki season 2. Before I watched, I didn't think it was gonna be that good.
Yeah.
But Ant-Man was one of my biggest, media I was looking forward to, and I was
Yeah.
so not because of Ant-Man. I think
Yeah.
Paul Rudd did fine.
Yeah.
And the Ant-Man squad, I think they
Correct.
did fine. And the world.
I wasn't a fan of the chemistry
I
of
know
the,
that's arguable too.
of the Pym
Modoc.
squad.
yeah, the Pym squad. Yeah, I know that's
No,
arguable too. But
my
the
take was-
Quantum World,
the quantum
was
world,
good.
was, that's the only reason why I like
Kang.
it.
Kang was the
Kang.
biggest disappointment.
Yeah.
Not because the actor.
He's disappointing too.
That's another episode. That's a whole episode.
In real life, he's disappointing. But him as
Yeah.
as an actor, as Kang, I think he did fine. He did good. But the way they treated Kang,
Yeah.
just like, oh, we're gonna kill you with tech level 2 ants from the future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, well, I mean,
And he's
what?
supposed to be like this murdering machine.
It just felt like plot armor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was disappointed with that.
My thing was just the quantum world. That's what
The
intrigued me. That's why I want to
scene, yeah.
watch it, and I'm watching it. I watched it quite a few times because of that, and it's just, I guess, scenery.
Yeah.
CGI.
Yeah.
They were good with that. The Modoc
Except
CGI was
I was like, except
oh,
Modoc.
Modoc.
man, you just activated a nightmare memory. That Modoc, right?
Yeah.
Man, that
Modoc.
He looked like George Lopez from
Spy Kids?
Not Spy Kids. George Lopez from Sharkman and Sharkman.
Oh, yes.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
And Lava Girl, yeah.
Oh my god.
Remember that?
Wow.
Remember that movie?
Nightmare
Wasn't
memory
that like,
unlocked.
Wasn't that like a Disney movie or no?
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that came out during
It was
the
on
Spy
the Disney Channel.
the Spy Kids era.
Yeah.
Yes.
But man, that Modoc CGI reminded me of that. Just like
That's really
like,
bad,
you get a
yeah.
face and just like stretch it with CGI.
You know what had a good CGI? I don't really care for the movie, but that Blue Beetle. I'm crazy about those colors. You know, I love galaxy colors.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much one of the big reasons why I watched that movie, because that blue and purpleness. The CGI was really, really good, surprisingly.
I didn't
And
watch.
I
I watched
haven't
the trailer
watched
of
it.
Blue Beetle, and the trailer actually looked good.
It looked good.
No, the
Yeah.
movie's not bad. It's just, I don't know. Maybe because this whole stuff with James Gunn changing everything, it kind of like you don't know where these stories. It's just like solo movies. What it feels like
I
to
just
me.
I like
good.
Blue
I
Beetle because
mean-
the first time I was introduced to him was like 10 plus years ago when I watched Young Justice.
Yes. Yep.
And I was like, remember watching that 10
He's so
plus years,
strong.
and I was like,
Blue Beetle's crazy.
and I was like,
He's-
who's Blue Beetle? But then I ended up loving his character,
Yeah.
and then
I think
those-
you would like this movie. I think you would.
Yeah.
If you watch it, I think y'all
Okay.
like it.
Okay.
George Lopez is in it. He's funny as heck though.
He's always funny. Yeah.
funny. No Modoc, no Modoc of George
nah.
Lopez.
The CGI is legit in here. It's just I don't know. Maybe because I'm a Zack Snyder fan and I want.
I think it all goes back
It
to
always
Zack
goes
Snyder.
back to Zack
you know I
Snyder.
want more BVS.
Somehow Zack Snyder returned.
Yes. But I
Oh my
think
God.
that's gonna be something that y'all should go and watch. But there's a lot that you can go through. That
Bro, the
was
horror
good.
movies of 2023 are all peak.
What you think? Scream.
I liked it.
I heard a lot of good things about Scream
I like
4.
it.
right?
You didn't
watch- did the
I
last
did
one.
not watch Scream.
It was actually good.
I liked it. Yeah, I thought they were getting campy, which I mean, it is campy, but it's a good
Dude,
campy.
it was good. Like
But
trying to
this-
figure out who was
Yeah.
the killer.
That's the whole point of
I'm like,
Scream.
what
You
the
know, they went.
heck?
I felt like with this one, they went back to the roots of like.
I'm surprised John didn't watch it.
Do you remember remember that movie X? A24?
Yeah.
The sequel to that movie. It's with Mia Goth. You know what movie I'm
No,
talking about?
no. There's, yeah, man, it's hard for me.
I think that was a 2023 movie. I can't remember the movie right now.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it. But
about
my favorite horror film from 23 is When Evil Lurks.
You know,
Oh,
I heard good
my
things about.
God.
I don't think I watched it. Let me see. What is it called again?
When Evil Lurks. It's an Argentinian horror film. It's in Spanish, so you got to read the subtitles. But Matt, I haven't felt like this in a horror movie where
Yeah, I seen
you
that,
sit down and you start watching it, and your anxiety is just progressively increasing the entire film. And I think the name is perfect, When Evil Lurks, because the entire damn movie you feel like something's lurking. the entire
it's
time.
it's a very fresh take on demons.
Yes.
Right? It's
And
not like
possession.
the typical
And
possession. Like possession is
Yeah.
just like a very like fast and loose. Like there's no lore behind it. This movie implies a lot of history and lore without exposition dumping you. I know one scene that just builds dread. I know I want you to watch that.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
gonna
hard,
spoil-
yeah.
Yeah,
Dog,
it sounds
the dog.
good.
Oh, God, yeah.
That scene, man. I was watching. I'm like, please don't, please don't, please don't. And
They
did it.
Matt, there's a scene that'll happen. You're like, oh, that makes me feel so bad. It can't get worse than
It's-
this.
it's good.
And
Really?
it keeps
Yeah.
getting worse.
I'm honestly between When Evil Lurks as the best horror movie of 2023. The movie I was talking before I say this, the movie I was talking about was Pearl. The
Pearl.
sequel, but that's 2022.
Okay.
it was that's a good movie, but yeah, it's 2022.
I gotta ask you something. Go
uh,
ahead.
It's I'm between When Evil Lurks is the best horror movie of 2023 and Talk to Me.
Talk to Me was
That's
good.
another one that I
Talk to Me was good.
Talk to Me
The
was
thought, I'm like, I know I
So-
look past it.
So if When Evil Lurks is a fresh take on demon and possession, Talk to Me is a fresh take on like Ouija boards or mediums.
Yeah, I ain't watching no Ouija board.
They don't use a Ouija board, but like the idea of
It's-
the idea of an object that carries spiritual like maligned energy.
so like, is what opening up a
yeah, like
door
let's say
for-
like, oh, this is the water bottle that Vlad Tepes, the barbarian, drank from. I don't know. Yeah, brought up like a scary.
that
figure.
sounds like some more voodoo stuff.
Yeah,
man.
it's almost like the Annabelle too, like
Oh,
Annabelle
okay.
doll. How there's like an evil object
it's
that just carries
it's
the energy.
It could be a random object, even like the energy of twist. But yeah, it could be a
Twist
random.
the twist.
And
Yeah.
in this case, Talk to Me. It's a hand that's molded like this, and all you say is you grab the hand and it says, and you say, "Talk to me," and then you get possessed. Oh
my God.
And,
Yeah.
and it could be like
the
any nearby spirits that possess you, and they start talking for an amount of time. And if you pass a certain amount of time,
You get stuck, right? you get corrupted.
they might
or-
stay with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
that's that's the premise of the movie.
Yeah.
So
I
again,
ain't
both.
shaking nobody's hand.
So yeah, both. Yeah, fresh
Talk
take
to
on
me.
demons for When Evil Lurks. Fresh take on mediums and possession. Both are really good fresh takes on possession and the idea of hauntings. Because I mean, we had what Exorcist.
That's what. Funny
Man, I
enough,
haven't
he
seen
mentioned
the
it.
Exorcist movie in a long
Funny
time.
thing, he's mentioning it. That's one of my films on my worst
Disappointing?
disappointment of the
Yeah.
year.
I gotta ask y'all something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cocaine Bear.
I saw that. I didn't watch it.
I
but,
didn't
like,
watch it,
I
but
know
I
it's
want to watch it
hilarious.
because
It's
it
like
looks
Meg.
fun. It looks
It
fun.
was fun. I'm not gonna say it was a
Yeah.
terrible movie.
No, I know.
But
I
it was-
feel like I would enjoy that more than Meg because this one is like like the director knows what they are,
Yeah.
what they plan to do, and they're like, let's go wild with a bear on cocaine.
Yeah, they went crazy. I would take that over that Pooh movie. That Pooh movie.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
terrible.
That's ridiculous.
Pooh movie.
So the Pooh license,
Yeah.
the Pooh thing went.
There's a
it
part
went
2
public.
coming out.
Yeah. They're apparently gonna do the same thing with the
With,
Mickey Mouse.
the racist Mickey Mouse.
Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, Steamboat Willie. But top 5, John Wick 4.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah.
I haven't
absolutely,
watched it,
absolutely.
but when I was looking,
Well, you haven't. What is wrong with you?
I'm not much of an action movie type guy.
Neither
John
am I,
Wick-
but John Wick does it for me.
John Wick 3, like when I watch I mean the choreography
Yeah.
is amazing.
You're missing out on
Yeah,
John Wick 4 then.
But I remember watching John Wick 3 in the movie theater like 2-3 years ago, and I got out of that movie theater tired. I'm like, it's non-stop.
Yeah.
I would choose an action movie like this over like one of the Fast X movies.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Yes.
A million. So I have to watch John Wick 4.
oh man, it's-
No, they're great.
Oh my
They're
goodness,
great,
it was
yeah.
amazing. John Wick 4 was freaking
Yeah,
awesome.
because
Because,
one.
All of them were great.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
they're all good.
Yeah.
But 4 is my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, four's your favorite?
Yeah, 4 has
I heard
my
a
favorite.
lot of good things about 4, and there was actually a lot in the top 5 movie list of the year. John Wick. I seen a lot of John Wick.
I completely forgot about it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, John
it
Wick.
was-
John Wick for me for sure is a top 10 for this
Yeah,
year.
it's
I mean, between action movies, if either of you watched the Mission Impossible,
I've never seen any of them.
I know it
I
came
played the
out.
video games back in the day.
I know it came out at the
I don't
same
like
time.
Tom Cruise, man.
You don't like Tom Cruise?
I don't know why. I probably just don't like his acting.
I could.
I don't know.
That I could
Even
see
though
that.
I know he's a great actor,
Yeah.
he's been doing all these great movies, but I don't know. I just never found that spot. But like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah.
I gotta watch a Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah, because
now.
Mission Impossible was like unlucky because it came out around the same time as Barbie and
Didn't he
Oppenheimer.
do like 12 movies or something on Mission Impossible?
The Mission Impossible universe is
He's been doing this
massive.
since like 99
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like
I've
that.
seen one of my favorite one was the like the dude spreading the disease. Remember that? That's an old one. I can't
Man,
remember.
I don't even know those
I don't even
stories.
know.
Did y'all ever
So
watch Redfield?
Redfield? Oh, Redfield with Nicolas Cage.
Renfield. That's what it is.
Redfield. Yeah.
Oh,
It's good. I liked it.
I have a
That's like one of those like fun movies to watch.
It's fun.
He's Dracula and like his the guy who used to play Beast in the X-Men series.
Yes,
He plays like
he has like a power where he eats a bug.
Yeah.
and he gets super strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays like the what do they call it for vampires?
Oh yes. He's like
it's
their-
basically
his-
a thrall.
A thrall.
He's
His
a thrall.
assistant.
The concierge.
I ha-
the concierge.
The concierge. Yes. yes.
But speaking about Nicolas Cage, I haven't watched Renfield, but I have to watch that. But
See, he's another character or another actor I don't like watching.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a big...
Nicolas Cage Nicolas Cage has like 100 movies, and maybe like 5 of those are really good, and the
Yeah.
other 95 are just like, what are you
Was
doing,
it Ghost
Nick?
Rider?
He's
That's
like,
your
he was
favorite
like,
right there?
he's like, it's for the check, baby.
Wicker Man.
Yeah.
Wicker Man. Oh my God.
Not the bees, not the bees. No, but I was gonna mention an A24 movie that he did. It's called Dream Scenario.
Oh.
It's more of like an art. He's the main character. He plays a professor, and the movie starts off as like a cultural phenomena that starts happening, and people start dreaming him. People who've never met him.
Whoa.
Have you ever seen the meme where like it's an old meme where it's like a crude drawing of a guy and he says, "Have you ever seen this man?" And apparently it was a phenomenon back in like the early 2000s where hundreds of people, I think, mentioned how they all saw the same man in their dreams without ever meeting this man, and they all described the man with similar features. So
This is what's going on in the movie.
So in this movie, it's using that real life
Same
phenomenon,
concept,
same concept for Nicolas Cage, but in a worldwide setting. And it's called Dream Scenario. And first off, he plays a professor like the most. Think of the guy from Idiocracy, the most average person you can think of, and he plays the most average professor in like a local college, and people across the country just start dreaming of him, and things are happening in people's dreams, and he's just standing there. And
That's
then
funny.
and the whole movie deals with the backlash of him being in people's dreams, and then him eventually getting violent in the dreams, and then people reacting to him. You're like, "You've done horrible things to me in your dream." Yeah, it's a really
That's
really good
weird.
movie.
It sounds interesting.
I watched it
yeah.
like 3 weeks ago.
I bet you're a fan of National Treasure too, right?
I mean,
The first National
The
Treasure.
first
It's
one.
a fun. It's a because Dream Scenario is an actually good movie.
Yeah.
National Treasure is like how I feel about like The Mummy, the classic Mummy.
yeah.
It's more
with
like a
Brandon Fraser.
yeah, it's a classic like
Oh, I love those movies.
popcorn film.
That Tom
movie.
Cruise. Oh my God.
Let's not talk
terrible.
about
Speaking
Yeah.
about
That was
like
a
Brendan
terrible.
Fraser, did either of you watch The
I
Whale?
did not, but I
But
heard
has
it
that
was
23?
He won.
A20 huh?
Was that 23?
That was last
22.
year. Was it?
I think that was 22.
Really? The Whale?
Yeah, bro. I think that
pretty
was
sure that's-
22. Wow.
I thought that was last year, like the beginning of last year.
I have a feeling it's 23. That's
Yeah.
22,
Yeah,
man.
bro. Yeah, you guys
Time is
slacking.
time
Well,
is
I
a
think
circle.
he won the award last year
Yeah.
for that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if was it an Oscar or
No, what he was in another movie.
He won an Oscar,
he was
I
in.
think he was,
Brendan
yeah.
Fraser was in which another movie I haven't watched.
Georgia Jungle.
George of the Jungle. It's a good classic popcorn movie I grew up
Yeah.
with. It's a
Yeah.
fun movie. No, Killers of the Flower. Killers of the Flower.
I just
Moon.
have it up.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just started it.
Okay. It's one of those. I love
watched
it. I just
the
started
preview
it.
of it, and I got me intrigued
Yeah.
because it's
It's
like
good.
It just shows you like of something based on a true story, what
That's-
happened to these natives, and then Robert De Niro playing that character of being like the racist, you know,
yeah.
and then trying to convince his son to like get into the family, to kind of like inbreed. And
I'm glad that you brought
man,
up this film because it's the only reason that I hadn't mentioned it is because I haven't finished it either.
Yeah, I only
But
watched the beginning.
This is the same reason why Oppenheimer's #1 for me.
Yeah.
And if I would have watched Killers of the Flower Moon, I feel like it would be between those two. Why? Because they're true events.
Yes.
So when you're able to take
and big events.
Yeah.
And
so when you're
history.
able to take a history lesson and make people interested in it, I feel like that's a successful movie.
Well, and you think about it, it goes back to like the Christopher Columbus, right? Like they were just inbreeding and then killing. That's what in this. Just watching the preview showed me all that. They're killing the natives.
For I think the little that I know, because I didn't know about this historical like event, but a year ago, whenever they announced this movie, because on Wikipedia you can click on the event. I didn't even read the actual event because I didn't want to get spoiled for the
Exactly.
movie. But all I know, it's something like it's a lot of backstabbing of the Americans to the Native Americans to get oil off the reserve. Right?
So they were like
No, I
kind
don't
of
want to know
migrating.
anything.
You don't want to know anything? It's basic to like what you're telling, just so
Okay.
you can have a clear
Okay, go
picture
ahead.
of it. It's Native Americans that found oil and get rich off oil.
Okay.
And it's their
And
land.
It's succession, like you
Yeah.
mentioned, where now it's
And it's
Americans.
basically like There Will Be Blood comes in.
Americans trying to now find a way through, and it's like that, like House of Cards type.
But they
Yeah.
go both ways. So, like Leonardo DiCaprio is getting involved with one of the natives.
And he's kind of like
he's stuck between because his dad wants him, and this is just watching the preview, wants him to get involved, sneak in so he can pretty much inherit the stuff or steal it. But at the same time, they're killing the natives on the side, and there's like this mystery going on. Who's killing these natives? And then they're just dwindling down to where just the whites are going to take over.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I think that's I can't say it's in my top because I haven't watched the whole movie.
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty sure if I watched that and Oppenheimer, those would easily probably
I'm
be
so
my top
intrigued.
my top 5.
But a good movie that you probably didn't think was Air, the Michael Jordan movie. I actually enjoyed it.
Oh yeah. Wow, yeah, that's true.
It wasn't a long movie either.
No. I think it was a cool. It was a cool look into that time.
How did he acquire that
I'm
Nike deal?
I'm wearing Jordans right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How
Like,
did he
the guy-
acquire the Nike deal?
Yeah.
And like
and
the
to,
competition.
and to remain his own identity. You know, not hey, I got a Nike deal.
Nike
No.
didn't have these
No,
cool
it's-
shoes back then. They had
I don't say I'm wearing Nikes. I'm wearing Jordans.
I haven't watched it. It might be a good movie. I haven't watched it, but I'm not a fan of these last 2 years of these movies that they have a movie about products.
Yeah,
right.
I
It's
know what you're
basically a
saying.
long form commercial. Like you have the Michael Jordan movie, you have the BlackBerry movie, you have the
I forgot the
you have the Tetris movie, you have I know there's a bunch of others.
Bro,
that
you're just biased, man.
I'm biased towards long form commercials. Yes.
I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah.
No, it might be good though because I watched bits of it. Oh, my father was watching it, and I watched bits of it, and I was like, Matt Damon and
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck are in it, and I usually like when those two work together.
Yeah,
and
no, they have
it
good
looked good,
chemistry.
it looked good.
And on camera, off camera. But I think Giovanni's he's afraid to tell the people his favorite movie
What?
was the Taylor Swift the Eras tour.
Hey man, that movie made a bunch of money.
You know what? There was a movie.
Yeah, like that,
I didn't know what you're talking about.
that's like a big thing that I feel like
Didn't Beyonce do something like that?
Artists
Yeah.
are doing now, where then they
like long form documentary,
of their tour.
of the
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
So it's not a documentary. It's just like they create
in the life.
Yes,
Okay.
but they make it into a movie, not like a documentary saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I didn't watch it, but I'm
I didn't
starting to
watch it.
see what artists are doing.
Yeah.
Dude, if you're a fan, how many millions of dollars
Yeah.
you're gonna get off that? And that's them.
I would probably never watch it, but one I would
either.
watch of in the day in life would probably be one of Kanye West.
Oh God.
The insane things he would just say
You
from
know
day to
that-
day.
On Rotten Tomatoes, that Taylor Swift stuff came top 29.
Yeah.
That's big for 2023.
Yeah. No, man. I know they made a lot of money. When it went into theaters, it made a lot of money.
What are the top? You're on Rotten Tomatoes right now. What are the top 3 highest rated movies of
For
the year?
2023, so
Yeah.
one was Oppenheimer.
Maybe
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Mission Impossible number 2. That's Dead Reckoning. That's part 1. And then Killers of the Flower Crown
Yeah.
was top 3.
Those,
then Spider-Man.
Okay.
4.
Go top 5. I just want to hear top
Barbie's top 5.
5. No, yeah.
Barbie's
Barbie for me is like
I'm surprised that John Wick is at number 6 and Barbie's at number 5.
Barbie's a good movie.
John Wick coming for Barbie.
That's
right?
not that's not surprising to me
No.
because Barbie has more
From a plot.
But Barbie's been around for a long time.
No.
it's from a
See that?
well,
but
talking
I
about,
ain't biased like Giovanni over here.
wait, talk
you know?
about long form commercials. Barbie, I forgot the company that owns Barbie. You can argue
Hasbro.
you can argue it's a long form commercial as well, similar to the BlackBerry Michael Jordan movie. You can
Yeah.
argue Barbie. It has Margot Robbie, one of the hottest actors right now. Ryan Gosling, one of the other hottest actors right now. They're commanding like A-list actors.
There's some movies on here that I'm like, I don't even know
And
how
the
that's.
Barbie has more, I think, compared to John Wick 4, it has more cultural relevance right
Blackberry
now.
was 13.
13.
Oh, that's wild.
I don't know why this one I didn't like it. Megan. I
Is
wasn't
that
a fan.
little
that little
android-
robot girl?
I didn't like it.
It looks funny in the trailer.
Yeah.
Did y'all watch Past Lives?
No.
I've been wanting to watch that.
It's number 8.
I think that's another A24 movie.
Yeah.
I
And
think
then
it's a romance
Are
movie.
You There, God? It's Me, Margaret is number 9. I never heard of that either.
Is that an animated? Or?
I've never heard
No,
of that.
it's a
Way.
regular
Oh no,
live
I
action.
haven't heard of that one.
And The Holdovers is number 10.
The Holdovers.
Holdovers.
That's actually a good film.
And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 11.
Wow, I didn't expect
yeah.
TMT to be up that high.
Talk to Me was 15.
Another horror film that I want to mention.
No, before you get into it, The Boy in the Heron. Did y'all watch that?
Yeah.
Oh, Miyazaki. I haven't watched it yet,
Yeah,
but I have
it's
to watch
Number
it.
16.
It's another.
I heard it was pretty good, but I don't know. The animation, I don't know if I'm...
It's classic.
Have you watched Spirited Away? Have you ever watched any Miyazaki movies?
No.
Spirited Away, the Moving Castle,
I don't think so.
Nausicaa.
I'll say this before you
So
watch.
the same writer, director,
Same
or
director. I mean, he's
yeah.
one of the best
He creates
animators
everything,
since like
yeah.
the 1960s.
Go with your horror movie?
No One Will Save You. It's a psychological thriller, I would say, more so than a horror.
And
it was a
like,
Hulu.
and similar
film.
to the other fresh take on alien abduction.
Yeah, it's a fresh take on alien abduction.
Huh.
There's only 5 words in the entire movie.
Don't say it.
Your Godzilla made number 18.
-1.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Guardians was 20.
Nice. The other movie I would have liked to see this year was Poor Things. Right? Poor Things.
Yeah, it's another one I wanted to watch too. I didn't get to watch it yet.
All right, let's get into your disappointments of the year. What you think is the worst?
Shazam.
Oh man, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Shazam.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a
You know,
DC
that's kinda-
fan. Shazam.
the first Shazam was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I
I take
enjoyed
the first one over the second.
I enjoyed the
Oh,
first
hey.
one.
Yeah. No, the first one I actually liked it. I didn't think I was going
Yeah,
to.
I mean, I used to love Shazam as a kid when they first introduced him in like in Justice League.
Well, he's like freaking powerful.
Yeah,
man.
no, but like as when I would be like 8 years old at the time. Think about like being like an 8-9-year-old kid and putting yourself in the perspective of like being a kid and just saying one word and you just turn into a Superman.
Yeah.
Right?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like I think it's one of the best like idea concept for little kids to get into because you're like, oh my god, that could be me saying Shazam, right? And I think in the first one they nailed it. In the first one, I think his name is Zachary Levi, who plays just the actual Shazam, and I don't know the actors of the younger kid, but they did well. They both acted like how they should.
Okay.
Yeah.
When he literally acted like a 16-year-old that's like 250 pounds of pure muscle, right? it makes
I'm
sense.
bulletproof.
Yeah, he's like trying to buy beer, and he's like, I'm 21. Yeah, it's fun. The Shazam 2, they were like different characters. They were like,
it
he was
was
like
so
Shazam,
bad.
and I'm like, you're clearly not the same person. Dude. Your personality just changed.
So they got the Yu-Gi-Oh effect.
Yeah. It's as if like they had 2 script writers,
Yes.
and like they wrote, okay, I'm gonna write for the kid, and then I'm gonna write for Shazam's character, and then neither of them ever met up with each other, and they just filmed the scenes separately. That's how it felt like.
yeah.
It was
That's
so
funny.
jarring.
It was just terrible. Oh my god.
It was
terrible.
it was disappointing.
There's a lot of movies that were just really
For
bad.
me, the Five Nights at Freddy's.
I didn't
Man.
even watch that.
Oh man,
Was that bad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was disappointed. Yeah, because I had kind of a high expectation for it because I wanted them to actually make it scary.
Yeah.
But it went
The only
it went in a weird direction.
The only
for
reason
me.
I know about Five Nights at Freddy's lore is because my nephew, when he was like 9 years old, 8, he used to watch Five Nights at Freddy's all the time.
Yeah.
So I was like always kind of peer into the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's.
It's fun. It's interesting.
Yeah, and like all the Five Nights at Freddy's games. But this one, I watched Josh Hutcherson, right?
PETA.
PETA from Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Man, that I feel bad for this guy because he's in the 2 I think worst movies of the year. He's a good actor. It's not like he's a bad actor.
So he was in Five Nights at Freddy's and what else?
and The Beekeeper with another Jason Statham movie.
Garbage.
This movie, I felt like the script of this movie was like someone just went on ChatGPT. Was like, give me a movie similar to John Wick 4, but change everything into bee analogies or bee analogies or metaphors. And they're like,
Do you know who I am?
and like ChatGPT just spit out a script, and they're like, and make sure that the protagonist is Jason Statham, and then that's what this movie is. But
You could tell that Jason is the heart of any movie, right? You could throw whatever.
he does what he does good.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
It's like The Rock.
He talks gruff.
And he's a good action. He's a good action actor.
I will find you, and I will kill you. Like that's
I
all he
prefer
does.
Jason or Dwayne, man.
Me too.
Or The Rock.
Me too.
Yeah.
They have up on the list for worst movies. Paint.
Paint?
Is that with Owen Wilson and he plays Bob Ross? Yeah, I've heard bad things about that movie.
Oh yeah, I even forgot that.
Pooh
came
was
out.
obviously up there. Flash was up there as worst film.
I could see that. I could see that.
He's a Flash fan.
I'm a Flash
This guy
fan, and it hurts. It hurts.
He loves Flash. He
Best-
wants to be the Flash.
That was disappointing.
Best
That was
I grew up watching Justice League, so best DC character. Gave way too much attention to Superman. I love Superman from Justice League though, but yeah, I love Flash. But that Flash movie, man, oh my god.
That was bad. That was
It kind of ruined.
Ezra Miller on the screen and off the screen, disaster.
But not only that, it made because remember this was Zach's character, his version of Flash, and what's his name? The CEO now. I keep forgetting.
Of what?
Of DC? The new DC?
Yeah, this whole issue. With
I know the new one leading DC is James Gunn.
What James
Yeah, yeah.
Gunn, like his version, you can see the difference between Zach's Speed Force and James Gunn's Speed Force. That was a terrible CGI.
Who directed Flash?
I have no idea, but I know it's not Zack Snyder. I'm pretty sure it's not him.
What's his name?
But
Andy Muschietti.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that's right.
He did terrible.
I mean, bro, like DC just needed to implode. Like,
I'm like,
Because
way-
my favorite, we talked
Yeah.
about it on that episode.
Yeah.
My favorite scene from Justice League, the Snyder Cut, was Flash's part.
Yeah. When he's
I
tapping
agree.
into the Speed
Yeah,
Force.
No,
yeah.
I agree.
You
Yeah.
see the Speed Force and the Flash.
one
was
thing,
terrible.
no, it's still Marvel. I was gonna say like which superhero movie has the best speedster scene, and the top two for me is Justice League.
Yeah.
That's two. With Flash at the end. And number
Quicksilver?
one was Quicksilver in
And X-Men.
X-Men.
Yeah.
But yeah, the worst
Days of Future Past.
Yeah, the worst speedster scene is actually the Quicksilver for Avengers Age of Ultron.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like he runs and there's like little blue lines behind him. I'm like, oh wow, so fast.
Speed.
He runs
But
like
you know what's
I think he runs
crazy,
like
though?
50 miles per hour.
It's like when you look at the comparisons, right, from Andy's and then Zach's, same character, same actor, and just two different worlds. The way that they use the Speed Force,
Oh yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
Same amount of money, probably. Same,
probably more.
I know
for
Flash.
I know one of the
Exactly, right?
I know always one of the main criticisms for Ezra Miller's Flash is the way he runs.
Yeah,
But I some people I don't know
Yeah,
how
'cause he
true
does
it
that
is. The some people say it's because when he runs in the Speed Force, it's frictionless.
yeah.
So he's like almost sliding rather than
Yes.
actually running. So that's the explanation. But I know visually, as an audience member, you're watching that and you're like, what?
Why is he flopping?
Like yeah. It looks almost like he's skating.
But then,
rather than running.
then again, the director, you got to have somebody good to create something out of
Yeah.
these people, right? Because not everybody's gonna be perfect. But if you could be like Zach, in a sense, not saying that he's perfect, but the way he did the Speed Force, kind of you overlook that.
Nah,
And you look
I
at-
don't overlook it because I hate everything else he did.
Yeah, bro. Just because
Yeah.
you just hate
my
you
God.
hate greatness. That's the problem, bro.
His Batman kills people. End of story. Like that.
And what's wrong with
doesn't
that,
kill-
man?
Batman doesn't kill people.
And in some of the universes, he does.
I mean,
No, he doesn't.
in Dark Knight Returns, he does because he kills the Joker. Of
one of
course.
my favorite YouTubers is called his channel is called Cosmonaut. And he recently did like an hour and a half video talking about two parts, both an hour and a half each.
Yeah.
Talking about all Batman movies, right? And I'm pretty sure you watched it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the only Batman that we know of that hasn't killed anyone is the most recent the
Robert
Batman
Pattinson.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
because if you go back,
Everyone
like,
does.
He's
Yeah.
like, I don't kill anyone, but I do like break your back, break your neck. You're going to be a
paralyzed.
You're going to be a paraplegic,
Bro, you're not gonna
but I won't kill
There's
you.
all these memes about Batman,
Yeah.
like stealing something to feed your family or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then you're
Bro,
What?
because one of the best
Stealing food or whatnot.
choreographed Batman fight scenes is bat flicks.
yeah.
But you're not gonna tell me those motherfuckers walked away from that fight.
Dude,
Someone died there,
Yeah.
man.
A bunch of in that warehouse.
That
scene,
warehouse scene was really good, Corey.
It's really good.
But I mean,
Dude.
one,
he fucked.
the
people
one
up.
thing I hated about that Batman Batfleck is when they have the nightmare vision.
Oh, yeah.
His Batman just has like
The gun.
Yeah,
just a
Batman
gun.
doesn't use a gun
That-
either.
that
like, that's a
Bat-
big one
I
for
like
me.
Nightmare Batman though.
I like
Batman
is
I like the
traumatized from
imagery.
his
I like the
parents.
imagery of like a fallout Batman in like a never-ending Mad Max
Yeah.
desert. I like that imagery. It's cool. But him having a gun,
No.
imagine like you see Mad Max, right?
Yeah.
Imagine Batman like in a Mad Max Batmobile,
Yeah.
right? And using like different type of no guns though.
Yeah.
That right there would have been better than showing Batman like use a gun. I have no
yeah.
idea why Zack Snyder didn't put him in a Mad Max Batmobile.
Well, maybe that could have been later on when they
Yeah,
did
but
that.
Ben Affleck's done. Like he was gonna direct his own Batman movie and everything. That
I
could
would
have been a thing.
I would have been
I would've liked
curious to see how that would have happened.
But remember, he was going through all that alcohol and all that stress when that was happening.
Ben Affleck always looks like he's stressed. I have no idea.
But
but
he seems a lot more happier
part of his
now.
every
part of his
few
character.
every few years, I just see a picture of him smoking a cigarette,
Yeah,
like,
with Dunkin' Donuts in his other hand.
and just like.
But he's a lot more happy. He's more involved now with a lot of stuff.
I always liked him as an actor and director. I think he's a better director than actor, though.
But there was a lot of bad movies. House Party, White Man Can't Jump. There was a lot of movies that were
what was
were on the worst list.
A bad one for me was 65.
Yes,
with Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. That one was so disappointing.
had-
Make dinosaurs scary again, please.
Yeah. I had such a
They need to bring Dino Crisis into a live action movie, man.
I was looking forward to it because it looked like scary dinosaurs, like horror dinosaurs. If I watched the movie, man, and the trailer is the movie, I'll just put it like that. Yeah. Don't like it was.
Didn't you mention last time that you like the Magic Mike Last Dance or something like that?
That came
You
out.
know, for a second, I was like,
That came out in 23.
I was looking through my head. I'm like, what the hell? What is Magic Mike? And is that the stripper dancing? Right?
Yeah, that's what's his name?
Channing Tatum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna say a good one right now. I think you'll agree with me.
What?
I don't know if you've watched it yet. I watched Napoleon.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I watched it.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I didn't like
one
it.
of my biggest disappointments of the year is Napoleon.
Yeah.
Yeah. They focus way too much on him and Josephine, I think.
But wasn't Napoleon like 2 feet tall or something like that?
That was an English propaganda lie.
I'm just saying.
I think it literally was. I think he was like normal, like regular height.
Oh, like you?
Yeah.
5'1"?
He, actually 4'2". A strong 4'2".
Well, I heard that got bad, and I never watched really the Indiana Jones movie, but I heard the last one was really
I heard
bad
horrible
too.
things.
Yeah, they messed it up. I couldn't finish it.
To finish the like his era of playing his character, I
Yeah.
heard it was bad.
I think it was bad. I think it was.
Did-
They were cash grabbing. I think, like for sure.
Did y'all watch Old Dads? It's a movie.
I don't
yeah,
think
Old
that's
Dads.
not familiar.
Bill
No.
Burr is in it. He's the director and he stars in.
Oh, that's funny. That's probably hilarious. Then.
But it was on the worst list. So, but I was just curious because
The other two I mentioned it was The Exorcist and Ant-Man.
Yes, that's on the list.
But Exorcist for sure let me down. I would say the most, just
They
because
put
I'm a
Mario
horror
on
fan.
the worst list.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't
Worst?
think it was worse.
Yeah.
I was disappointed, but I wouldn't put it in worst.
Yeah.
What about that Gran Turismo? Did y'all ever watch that?
I didn't watch it.
The trailer,
Is it on the worst?
trailer,
Yeah.
I
That's
watched the trailer and I was like, this movie's gonna be horrible. Yeah.
They
Yeah,
put,
you
they
think
put,
so?
they
I
put
didn't
the
bother with it.
whale. They put Cocaine Bear.
I can already I watched the trailer. I'm like, oh,
But this is not on Rotten Tomatoes. This is on IMDb.
Oh, I mean,
the
yeah,
whale's
that's
on one of the
still-
worst.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I heard good things about that movie, but I have no idea.
There's a lot in here that I've seen that we've watched and I think will
Yeah.
be fine. Did y'all ever watch the Bird Box Barcelona?
No, I was okay just watching the first one.
It's all right, but it's nothing to look forward to.
Yeah.
The original one is the best one, I think,
Yeah.
so far.
Like the Bird Box for me was like I watched it and I was like, oh, that was fun. I'll never watch it.
You know
again.
what I'm curious? I saw a trailer on the new Quiet Place.
Yeah, yeah.
It's,
Oh,
going
like
back
a
to, it's like a prequel.
Day
It's like
one,
Day
one.
Zero or something like
That
that?
looks in...
That's an
for-
interesting.
Yeah.
Because I like the
universe.
first two movies.
Yeah, I like both too. Yeah.
they were good,
I
yeah.
prefer the first one because I prefer the first one just because they have
Krasinski.
Krasinski's
Yeah.
in it. But at least in the second one they had Cillian Murphy in it. But I want him to be in the movie. Him and Emily.
I
Blunt
like they
work
created
together.
this new horror space. This story, this universe.
I'm telling you, man. 23, I think, was a successful year for horror.
Yeah, horror
Yeah.
did
Horror
pretty
did good for me from my opinion, because there's like another one I think called Cobweb that I haven't watched. That did
I heard
pretty
good things about it too. Yeah.
There's one movie that came out last year that didn't meet my expectations, and that was Extraction 2.
Extraction.
Is that with Chris Hemsworth? Yeah.
Extraction
I know
1
that
was
I heard
freaking
I heard the
amazing.
first one was like a really good.
I
action
think I
movie.
watched the first one. It was
But
like a
part
good
two-
popcorn action movie.
Yeah.
Part 2 was it didn't meet. It's like Taken, right? With Liam.
Neeson,
Yeah.
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon.
Yeah, yeah.
Taken 1 and then 2 and 3 it went down. Taken 1 is like the
Well,
best.
didn't Taken 4 they take like his like grandma or at that
no,
point?
the second one was
The wife.
the daughter, and
That
the
means-
wife died in the third one.
The first one, daughter.
The daughter.
Second one?
I think they came back for revenge and they take him, and then the third one was the wife. They killed the wife.
That was the last one, right?
The last
okay,
one.
for some reason I thought it was 4 Takens.
But you know what was good though? The Pope, The Exorcist. You didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
Man, I thought that was
It was a lot of money on actors that should have done a lot better.
yeah, but I think it was just.
I wanna
from all the other horror and possessive stuff. I'm like,
What?
for last year? I'm like,
What?
I
Talk to
vaguely-
me. We literally mentioned it.
No, but I
Talk to
didn't
me
watch
when
those.
evil lurks.
But I didn't watch them though.
Oh, bro.
The only one I watched was Scream. Really.
What I vaguely remember, I'm gonna mention back to like everything has to be a multiverse, right? This movie, especially at the end, tried to set up like a Avengers priest team.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna come together. I'm building a team of priests that can.
Yeah.
I did not. I mean,
I don't know. It was just fun to watch, I guess.
I would
Better
yeah.
than The Nun 2, I can tell you that.
okay.
Did you watch The Nun 2?
No. Did you prefer this one over Exorcist?
I didn't watch Exorcist.
Okay, you didn't watch Exorcist. Okay.
I haven't seen an Exorcist movie in years.
Exorcist.
I think Exorcist has scarier imagery.
Yeah. Exorcist it was better because I think they marketed it the Pope's Exorcist as a horror film, but it really wasn't.
See, I've never
Like,
because
I
I don't believe in all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then but the only horror movie that I love to this day, and it's my top horror film, is going to be The Conjuring, the first one. I love
The
that
first
movie.
Conjuring
oh
is
my
good.
goodness, I've watched all of them. I like the characters. I like they kept the
Yeah.
same characters.
I might be confusing. It's the first Conjuring with Ethan Hawke. I might be confusing.
No, you're thinking about
the one he's an author and he finds pictures in an attic.
You're thinking about that's a good one too though. That's a standalone one.
Okay, never mind.
That's a good one.
Conjuring is the one with the guy
Patrick Wilson.
Yeah,
Vera Farmiga.
Yeah, okay, no,
So
it's
the Warrens, right? Lorraine and Ed Warren.
Yeah, it's the Warren universe.
and that's obviously based on true events.
Yeah.
But-
their recollections
but
of
the
it.
horror part about it is I love what the clapping in the the dresser, whatever you want to call that, that opens up, and then the end where the possession. It was just good
I
storytelling.
like their. I think I'm still thinking about Insidious.
I was gonna say
that's the thing. That's what you're thinking
yeah.
about.
Because I'm still thinking
Or,
about like
there's another
the
one.
Beyond or their limbo world.
Yeah.
Did Conjuring have a movie come out this year, 2023, or it was Insidious Red Door?
They
It was
had,
Insidious Red Door.
Okay, I'm confusing all these like.
They're two separate. The Conjuring
yeah.
universe and the Insidious
Yes.
universe. Are their
There's
own-
another one
I think
too.
I only watched the first Conjuring.
There's the Conjuring, the Insidious, and there's another world that's like there's multiple movies in it, and I'm trying to remember it.
They're fun. I like the first films of both those franchises because they're scary. Because then they just
Insidious
stop
and
being,
Conjuring.
then they just stop being
Insidious
scary.
Red Door, which I think came out in 2023, was horrible. That was a.
But
that was a
there's
bad one.
actually 7 movies in the Conjuring universe.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you got the Conjuring, you got Annabelle, you got the Conjuring 2, Annabelle Creations, The Nun, because The Nun is in the second movie of
Yeah.
the Conjuring. You got Curse of the La Nora.
Llorona.
Yeah,
I remember that one that came out.
Annabelle comes
No,
home.
there's no Sabo kid, bro.
And then the
Llorona?
The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, Part 3. That one was actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which one released this year?
I don't.
No, the last
23.
one was 2021.
Devil Made Me Do It, right?
Yeah. The Devil Made Me
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
It. But because we're talking about horror, I think out of all the horror stuff I've watched that kept me entertained was the Conjuring universe.
Yeah.
I can't believe I looked over to his screen. I can't believe it's your screen, so I don't want to mention it for you. But the second to last,
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to.
yeah, talking
Because
about horror.
I mean, we're talking about horror.
Yeah,
but like one of my favorite movies from 23 was Evil Dead Rise.
yeah, that was good.
Like
I
that's
haven't watched Evil Dead since the original Evil Dead.
watch. You can watch this one. This one's wild.
Yeah, you can watch this one because
Yeah, you don't need to watch
This is
anything
a
before
sequel to a remake of the Evil Dead series that came out. The first Evil Dead of this new series came out like in 2012, 13.
See, I like horror, but I'm not big on it because I know a lot of that stuff doesn't entertain me.
Well, you said earlier you said you like gore, like a lot of
yeah,
gore.
like Scream,
Evil Dead,
and-
Evil Dead, the first one.
and, anything like horror related.
This
like
gore,
in that aspect.
this gore will make you cringe.
Yeah.
You'll do this.
It's intense.
It's
Yeah.
intense. Trust me.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that came out last year?
Yeah, 23.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite.
Watch
ones.
both Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rise,
Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
and
Knock at the
the
cabin.
the update of the M Night Shyamalan twist. All right.
That was one of my other ones.
Knock at the Cabin.
Knock at the
with
Cabin.
another
Oh,
actor from of Guardians
Dave
of the
Bautista?
Galaxy,
Yeah,
Dave Bautista.
Yeah. I didn't understand that
I was
movie.
kind
I
of
was
disappointed
lost.
in it because it was like building, like every other M Night Shyamalan movie is building up, and like he's like, I'm gonna get you with the twist. I'm like,
I'm looking at it now. I'm like, man, this has your face on it.
what?
Wonka.
I actually watched it.
Did you like it?
When did I watch it?
I haven't watched it.
I wanted to. He likes that Dune and that character, the actor.
Timothy Chalamet,
and
right?
Isn't he like dating Kylie Jenner or whatnot or something like
I don't
that?
know.
I have no idea.
I don't keep up with the latest Hollywood lore.
Yeah, the Hollywood lore.
But
I went on to the Hollywood lore wiki.
I'm just looking at it and I'm like, that's Giovanni right there.
When I saw the movie, I'm like, man, okay, we have 3 Wonka movies. The classic
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder. We have
Then
Johnny
Johnny
Depp
Depp.
with that weird ass
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
weird ass performance, like with like the veneers, like,
Yeah.
and then we have this one. This one I think is for a young Wonka. It's like a good family movie.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good musical. They have some pretty good. I didn't know how I was gonna feel about Timothy Chalamet, but I like I think he did good. Wonka as like the inventor of weird candies that make you either fly or turn you purple or all these things. It was a good like family movie.
Yeah.
I think you'll like it. And for a musical, I'm not much of a musical fan.
Yeah. You be dancing.
I'm thinking of
Nobody's
a
looking.
musical that I like. I mean, Grease, the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Las Miserables. Las Miserables.
I haven't seen that movie in years, so I can't say. But
It's
yeah, that
still
was
up
good.
there, man. Hugh Jackman. Everyone
but
remembers Hugh
Wonka-
Jackman as Wolverine. For me, he's like the best.
Wonka, I think
Stage actor.
I think Wonka was a lot better. It was actually it's one of my surprises of the year.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to see it. I want to see it. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
It's
I
good to hear.
think for movies that does some justice to tell you how many movies that are, and that's just not even the tip of the iceberg.
No, man. Yeah.
With that being said, I think all 3 of us have our go-tos that we all like, but then you can see like, Giovanni likes Barbie, and you
I didn't even put Barbie in my
you
top
like
20.
Scream, and I like Rebel Moon, you know what I'm saying? So it's
That's
like,
the biggest hot take of
You
the
know
whole
what I'm saying?
episode.
This is Matt's debate tactic. Just lie.
Just
lie about your opponent's positions.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, he's just sitting over there, liking these, hey, to each his own, right? Watch the Marvels.
Matt, what
watch,
the hell are you talking about?
Just
I think he needs to go back and listen to the episode.
You know the meme with like Walter White and Jesse? The fuck are you talking about, Jesse? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Matt? Like, what?
that we enjoy certain genres and we have our own, our own go-to on
That's funny.
what we like to watch. You make fun of me for watching BVS all the time. I'm gonna go watch it tonight.
That's wild.
And hey, it's a movie. It's good. It's 2023 for me. 2024 always, because I'm gonna keep watching it like it's brand new.
Oh my god.
But yeah, 2023, man. Yeah, like this
I think
2-hour
named a lot.
podcast.
I think we
We mentioned a lot of media, like just a lot of entertainment.
And we went to 3, I think, big genres.
And I'm sure we watched
And,
more, and we just can't even think of
yeah.
the names.
And for 2024, what are you looking forward to the most?
2024. Well, Deadpool. That's going to be the only Marvel movie that releases this year. Rebel Moon, that's coming out, part 2.
Is that coming out this year?
Part 2.
Okay.
I think it's April.
Oh, pretty
It's something soon. I know
that's
that.
good.
And I know that's like the vision for them to try to get like the story, because obviously the cliffhanger at the end of part 1. But yeah, Deadpool, I think of all movies will be that. I don't know about TV series. Do you have anything that's supposed to come out this year?
House of Dragons?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
House of Dragon. Yo, we're gonna get
that's
reviews on that episode.
That was an easy one for TV shows.
Yes.
For me, it's
Yeah.
easy.
TV shows, yes. House of the Dragon. Oh my god.
I'm from a movie perspective. I don't know. There's really nothing that is catching my attention that I know of as of right now that's going to release this year. There's nothing that I'm really that excited for. From a show perspective, I mean, I'm actually excited for the new season of Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
I know the movie.
When is that supposed to come out?
The first episode is going to be released into like the movie theater, which is going to be the Hashira training arc, which I believe they start their Hashira training.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, from a movie perspective, I don't think
much is supposed to come out movie wise this year, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I haven't looked and I haven't seen anything that's necessarily grabbed my attention. House of Dragon, I'm excited for.
For me, for movies, it's an easy, cold take. Dune Part 2.
Oh, geez, yeah. So, see, I forgot that one. Yeah, so for Dune, I'm excited for Dune.
Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
No, man, I'm looking forward to that movie. Denis Villeneuve, I can't his French last name, but the director, he directed Annihilation. And
That's a good movie.
I'm sorry, not Annihilation. Arrival. I always could.
Oh,
yeah,
I mean, still a good movie.
yeah. And Prisoners.
Okay.
But I think he said he's going to direct. His last movie will be The Messiah, and it's basically going to tell the story of Paul Atreides.
Yeah, no, but you mentioned
incoming joke.
Madam Web. You mentioned.
Oh, listen.
Yeah, that comes out
That's
this
gonna
year.
be fun.
I saw Matt's face. I was like, Matt live reaction.
You know, I was like, no, there was one movie mentioned about
Yeah.
coming out, and that was Madam Web.
Madam Web. Yeah,
I'm intrigued.
I said I'm excited about it because I think it's gonna be that bad that's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
So that's.
I
I
liked Madam Web in the old Spider-Man animated series. It was like an interesting aspect. I was actually surprised they didn't mention her in the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
wasn't her whole thing was like she's like telepathic and like she connects to all the spiders with something like
but
that.
I think a lot of this stuff is gonna be because of like rights.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the Sony and Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Like you got
That's why Spider-Man movies are
And
good,
they have,
and everything that Sony does is crap.
they have 3 spider women,
money,
right?
Oh my god! I just remembered. Craven the Hunter comes out this year too.
Oh, that's right, Craven.
Oh my god, we watched that trailer
That's gonna be
together.
so
And
bad.
I remember, I barely remember Craven and how he's so strong. I remember he's just like a regular, highly trained person.
Yeah.
right, basically from the original
He's
Spider-Man.
the world's best hunter.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
And in this movie,
He's good in the original Spider-Man animated
animated
series.
that's how I remember. That's how I
yeah.
know of him. The same actor who played Kick-Ass is playing
Yeah,
him.
I know, that's
I
terrible.
like him.
I like him, but
He
not
was
as
in Bullet
Craven,
Train
though.
too.
Not as Craven.
And in the trailer, they show how he gets his powers, and it's like
weird, dude,
Like
yeah.
I think he gets the blood of a lion somehow gets into his bloodstream, and he gets lion powers.
It's gonna be like how you liked Morbius. So
I don't know if I don't think I still think this movie might be better than Morbius.
yeah.
Morbius is
I didn't realize it's coming out this year.
Yeah.
But we can't forget without mentioning Godzilla and Kong.
oh yeah,
The new Empire comes out this year.
Yeah, that does come out this year. So
Soon, next month.
I'll say that I am excited for
I know
that,
you like that.
specifically just because of how much I enjoyed Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, the show.
I think it's gonna be good.
yeah.
If they keep on the same path with the storytelling from
Yeah.
the
From
TV
Monarch.
series,
Yeah.
and just from the original, not the original, but the Godzilla movie all the way up to now.
This current
This-
Godzilla verse that the
correct.
United States is doing. Yeah, I agree because while the movies don't necessarily let you care about the characters, it's fun seeing the kaiju's fighting like at the end of the day,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
So like that's one thing that this is doing good. Where like those movies like you don't really much care about the characters. You wanted to see kaiju fun.
Yeah.
Monarch actually made you kind of care about characters, and you're like, oh, this is a big picture. So I hope that with this film, they take a little bit of both and
Yeah.
just make a fun movie. That's all
Yeah.
I'm hoping for. I'm obviously. I don't think that.
Since he mentioned he liked the Quantum World and Ant-Man, I think he would like Kong versus Godzilla, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Because they go in the
Yeah,
Hollow
I
Earth.
watched it like 10 times.
That's what I'm saying.
already.
okay,
You're gonna-
the Hollow
yeah.
Earth. Yeah,
Oh,
You should
yeah.
finish. You should finish Legacy of Monsters.
Yeah, I'm only a couple
because
episodes off.
they go into the Hollow
Yeah.
Earth.
No,
And
I
that's
like
cool.
that. That's
Yeah.
good. And I think that's for coming up. I think that's
That's-
I think we have enough to see what 25 is going to consist of, right?
Yeah.
Because right now we know we're already planned for 2024, and with Marvel we only have Madam Web technically and Deadpool.
Are there any MCU series?
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
If
off the top of
it is, it's probably going to be the end.
Are
But
they working on the Daredevil one? Reborn?
Something like that.
Reborn,
Yeah,
but I
that's
don't
not gonna be
know.
released this year.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that stuff is like pushed out.
Oh, wow! I just random thought right now before we conclude. I'm excited for the conclusion of Stranger Things.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
They're gonna be like. They're gonna be like 30 at
That's
this
fine.
point, and they're like sophomores.
With
Olivia
the
Dew
short
and
shorts.
John and John Travolta were the youngest teenagers
for real.
in Greece. They were like our age, and they're like, "I'm a senior."
I'm a senior. Yeah.
And they got their little short shorts on and little Super Bowl haircuts and stuff like that. No, I'm excited for that.
And I think it's
like-
gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Vecna, the way the last season closed, Vecna was a hell of a villain.
Yeah.
They brought back the interest in the series
What-
because
what-
it was spiraling in my
Yeah.
opinion.
What was the their other world called?
The upside down.
Upside down.
Down,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like under. So
Yeah, I think that's going to be great. I
Yeah.
think we have plenty to get some information, right? So some content that we have enough that comes out this year that we can review in the next episode.
Yeah.
So we definitely it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited. And then I think that's it, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's gonna
It's a good
conclude
wrap.
this episode, a recap of 2023, what we thought was good
So
and
much.
bad.
A little longer than usual,
but it was
it's
good
fun.
though. It was
a
fun.
lot of content.
We
to go over.
enjoyed it. We have fun doing this, and then just tune in next time. We're gonna bring some good stuff for 2024, man. We want to make sure that we bring it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, everyone. Till next time.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to The Nerd Pod. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. While you're there, help us spread the word by leaving a rating and review. We'll talk to you next time on The Nerd Pod.